Well, the sun is setting in Jacksonville, Alabama, and it feels like football weather here in the middle of May. This is the Calhoun County Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam 2014, just moments away from kickoff of Alexandria and Sacs. John Holder, Gerhard Mathangani here on the sidelines previewing the 2014 football season. But to preview the game that's coming up tonight, it ought to be a dandy between the Wildcats and Valley Cubs. We'll take you up to the booth to the guys that are going to bring you the game, Mickey Shadricks and Robert Smith. Guys.
All right, thanks a lot, John and Gerhard. Mickey Shadricks, Robert Smith, indeed, here in the booth getting set for the kickoff of the grand finale of the Calhoun County Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam, Alexandria and Sacs. And I can't think of a better partner to have in the booth with me for this game than the voice of the Valley Cubs on radio, Mr. Robert Smith, the longtime voice of Alexandria football. And Robert, I guess if this game had a theme to it, it would be simply this: Sacs coming off their best season in school history, undefeated regular season, losing in the semifinals to Madison Academy, close to a Super 6 appearance. Meanwhile, on the other side, Alexandria, who has 3 state championships, coming off their worst season in school history.
Yes, it's a kind of a, if we go back to last year, kind of a tale of 2 teams going in 2 different directions, Alexandria and Sacs. Sacs going 13-1. What a great season that they had a year ago. Alexandria, not Alexandria season last year, 3-7 last year. The Valley Cubs, their worst season since 1981, and the Cubs are looking to rebound. May see a few new wrinkles in Alexandria this year. These are 2 teams, Mickey, that the tradition goes back a long, long way, especially old folks like me that remember the 1970s and the early 1980s. At one time, these 2 teams were probably their own biggest rivals. Now, the kids these days probably don't understand that, but when you people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they know that this was once a big rivalry and really still is. So, and Sacs beat Alexandria a year ago, the worst that Sacs had ever beaten Alexandria, 35-0 there at Jack Stewart Field, and so I know they enjoyed that, and Alexandria is going to look to be able to start their rebound from their worst season here tonight. Sacs lost a lot of players from their team last year, so it'll be very interesting. They have a great coaching staff, both teams do. It'll be very interesting to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and this is still just a spring game, but I know we both talked to the coaches this week, and anytime you play a game and they're keeping score, you know, the coaches are going to want to do well. But this is a full 4-quarter game as well. We expect to see the starters go 3 full quarters, similar to what Welborn and Weaver did, and then we'll see some of the younger players. But both these coaches want to have some positive things come out of this night, don't they?
Absolutely they do. Of course, Alexandria, as we already said, this is a step toward trying to rebuild and get back to where people in the Valley expect them to be. And for Sacs, they've been up on the mountain. They want to stay there. And then another angle that I'm sure we'll talk about during the night, as the night goes on, is Jonathan Miller, the head coach there at Sacs, graduated from Alexandria. That's another angle. And you get these things when you have teams playing each other. We call it playing your neighbors, playing here in teams from Calhoun County. And both Frank Tucker and Jonathan Miller from that Larry Ginn coaching tree, which has a pretty big mark here in Calhoun County.
Yeah, and as the years goes on, it continues just to expand those roots all across East Alabama. Well, that'll do it from the booth for now. We'll send it back down to John, Holder, and Gerhard, and Robert and I will be back with you shortly for the kickoff of Alexandria and Sacs.
Thank you, Mickey and Robert. Just about 7 minutes away from kickoff. The Alexandria Valley Cubs making their way onto the field, running through the sign. And, you know, they moved up for the first time ever to Class 5A in this new 7-class system. One of the teams that probably is the favorite in that new 5A region that also moved up, the Lincoln Golden Bears, because they have 2 of the most talented players in this part of the state, maybe the most highly recruited player in the state, in this part of the state, besides maybe Tyler Carr, right, is going to be a big defensive lineman for the Lincoln Golden Bears.
Jontavius Johnson, remember that name because he is a fantastic defensive player for that football team. He plugs in the gaps, but then they also use him on offense as well. Short yardage situations, they hand him the football. He takes it in about 2-3 yards. He also took it to the outside, showing some refrigerator Perry there. Had about 4 or 5 touchdowns last year on offense. Some big plays on defense. They'll use him and Zay Caldwell as well. Zay Caldwell had a fantastic sophomore season. Now heads into his junior year with Brad Wallace in the second year as the head coach at his alma mater.
One of the more interesting teams I think we want to take a look at this year that stayed in 4A that was in the region last year with both Alexandria and Lincoln, the Munford Lions. But they had two guys that were just phenomenal players, two of the best players in Munford history, Tavon Lawson, Monteo Garrett. Those guys are gone. I guess the question for Will Wagner, we'll see these guys tomorrow, is how do you replace those two guys?
Two All-Stars, two Pigskin Roundup All-Stars, two All-State athletes, two guys that really led the charge for that team that made it to the fourth round of playoffs. Lost to Aniana, had a shot there at going to the Super Six. Will Wagner has a large task trying to replace both of those guys, because not only were they leaders on the field, but they were leaders in the classroom as well. One was the SGA president in Lawson. One had great grades as a senior in high school. Both of them now going on to play college football. So we'll see what the Lions can do here.
One more player before we go to break that we need to talk about is a guy that maybe is the sleeper in this whole part of the state, and that's the running back for the Donahoe Falcons, Justin Foster.
Justin Foster is one of those players that's really bloomed late in the game here, heads into his senior season. And now he's on the camp circuit, and he's getting a lot of buzz. He won the tight end MVP up in Tennessee. He'll take some recruiting trips this year. We'll see how he fares next year, but he is one guy to watch out for the Donahoe Falcons.
Well, I'm ready for football season. We hope you are as well. And we've got another great game to whet your appetite coming up in just a couple of moments. Mickey Shadricks and Robert Smith coming up with kickoff of Alexandria and Sacs, big Calhoun County rival, next live on TV 24.
We're making a new Honda at Sunny King Honda more affordable than ever with low lease payments all month long. Lease the new 14 Accord LX for only $199 a month. Lease the all-new 14 Civic LX for only $159 a month. Lease the CRV LX two-wheel drive for only $209 a month. We have a great selection of certified used Hondas, all with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Sunny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20, where customer satisfaction is king.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Tim Hodges, Don Hudson, J.D. Hess, and Rudy Abbott, asks that you take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At RMC, we know the birth of a baby can be a great moment in your life. With 2 hospitals in Northeast Alabama, RMC has great care right in your backyard. Our OB suites have the amenities that you deserve, and we have a Level 2 special care nursery staffed 24/7. Our experienced OB physicians work hand in hand with our specially trained nurses. We have the only baby-friendly designated hospital in Alabama. It's not about the size of the nursery, it's about the quality of the care.
About this time last year, our air conditioner just flat died.
It was completely worn out.
So we called Kelly with Cleghorn HVAC. He showed us our options, and we chose all new high-efficiency Ruud heating and cooling systems.
Now they're comfortable and saving money.
And we're sure glad we called.
Call us today and get up to a $1,200 rebate and a 10-year worry-free warranty with a new Ruud system for your home. We're Cleghorn HVAC Services, an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer.
Welcome back here to Burgess Snow Field at JSU Stadium as we are awaiting the opening kickoff between the Alexandria Valley Cubs and the Sacs Wildcats in the nightcap of tonight's Spring Jamboree game. Earlier in the evening, we had Weaver and Welborn, and this will be will cap off this evening. That's a showcase here for Calhoun County schools. And the Valley Cubs of Alexandria and the Sacs Wildcats are two teams that have played each other a lot over the years. They have met 35 times, Mickey, over the years. Alexandria has won 25 of them, but Sacs has won the last 3.
Yeah, Alexandria, Robert, with the much, I guess, deeper tradition, and Sacs with the most recent success, and that's kind of what we talked about in the open. The Wildcats coming off the best season in school history, Alexandria their worst season in school history, and this will be interesting to see. It always is to get your first look at a team in spring, even though they've had so few practices. You mentioned that Welborn-Weaver game earlier today that was the early game today, and Welborn very, very impressive. Beating Weaver by a final score of 45-6. So we're about to find out, get our first look, I should say, against with the Alexandria Valley Cubs and the Sacs Wildcats.
Back deep to receive the kickoff for Alexandria is Alton Davis. You see him there. Alexandria won the coin toss, elected to take the football. And here's Sacs Marcellus Mosley. He's going to send it right to Davis.
And these two coaches, Robert, told me before the game they elected to not have a live kicking game, which each coach has that option. We had live kicking in the Welborn-Weaver game. We didn't have any last night in the Sacs Pleasant, or I should say in the White Plains Pleasant Valley Ohatchee round robin, and it looks as though we won't have any in this game tonight.
So Alexandria will begin from the 30-yard line. Luke Tucker began his second season as a starting quarterback for Alexandria. He wears number 12, and here's a new wrinkle for Alexandria. Instead of the wing tee that we've seen for so many years, Alexandria works out of the shotgun, hands off to Alton Davis, and Davis is going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Here's your offensive starters for Alexandria. Your offensive lineman, junior number 53, Dakota Sams, junior number 74, Josh Longoria, junior number 56, Jacob Wade, junior. And then you have your starters in the backfield, fullback Jacob Hethcock, wide receiver Derek Turner, tight end Alex Campbell, running backs Terrell Gay, Alton Davis, Luke Tucker, the quarterback. Here are the Valley Cubs. Hand off to Davis again, and Davis is following his offensive line up across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards. It's going to leave the Valley Cubs with a third down and about 8 yards to go for the first down.
That'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Valley Cubs.
See there, Alexandria head coach Frank Tucker, who in the fall will begin his 8th season as the head coach. My, how time flies. Third down for Alexandria. Tucker's going to fake in the backfield. Luke's going to keep it. He'll be stopped short of the first down out across the 35 at about the 36. Tackle made by Marcellus Mosley, number 51, who is a sophomore for the Wildcats. So they'll force Alexandria to go 3 downs and punt the football from their own 36.
And Robert, I'm not sure if that was a design called run for Luke Tucker. Not sure if he was just pressured and had to get out of there and take off, but you would think he would be going to the air in that situation on 3rd and long. But a good opening series for the Sacs defense. And they're not even going to punt here. They're going to mark it off, and Sacs will get the football around their 34. I mentioned this last night, Robert. When you eliminate the kicking game, you obviously eliminate the potential for injuries, and that's important when you've had so few practices in the spring. But it also eliminates the need to prepare your team for the kicking game. When you have so few practices, that's one thing Coach Tucker said. It's nice to just say, hey, we're not going to do kicking in the spring game. We can just focus on getting things settled offensively and defensively so we can suit up and know what we're doing when we play a game.
So Sacs will start their first offensive possession from their own 34. They're replacing Trey Smith, who was Mr. Everything, quarterback for the Wildcats this year. Will be Devin Harris, the senior, and Harris out across the 35 to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Your offensive starters for the Sacs Wildcats along the line. Number 50, Monty Young is a senior. Number 51, Marcellus Mosley, a sophomore. Your wide receivers, Darian Coleman, DJ English, Ty Schott, quarterback Devin Harris, Figueroa in the backfield. Here's a second down play now for the Wildcats. And across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. That play's going to pick up about 3. It'll leave Sacs with a third down from the 41. They need to pick up 3 to make the first down out to the 44.
Sacs going without the huddle, just like they did last year, signaling in the plays from the sidelines.
Third down 7. And there is a fumble on the play. Scramble for it. Sacs finally picks it up back at about the 27. Wow. Bringing it out across the 40-yard line. They may get a big play. Coming down the sidelines, 30, 20, 15, 10. There are no flags, and Sacs is going to turn something that could have been a big play into or a big disaster turns into a big play for the Wildcats. And a touchdown for Sachs. Here's your replay.
Yeah, this is, you talk about making lemonade out of lemons here. This was a disaster. Bad snap. It was on the ground loose. Both teams had opportunities to get it, but the young man who did get it, Demetrius Powell, made the most of it. Got a key block on the corner and then did the rest himself with his speed. So what a turnaround here. That play looked like it was going to be Alexandria football in Sachs territory. Instead, Sachs gets on the scoreboard.
Sachs going for 2, and they're going to be stopped short. So the score will remain Sachs 6, Alexandria nothing. 9:11 to play here in this first quarter. We'll take a break and then be back. You're listening to hear the Spring Jam on TV 24.
We're making a new Honda at Sunny King Honda more affordable than ever with low lease payments all month long. Lease a new 14 Accord LX for only $199 a month. Lease the all-new 14 Civic LX for only $159 a month. Lease the CRV LX two-wheel drive for only $209 a month. We have a great selection of certified used Hondas, all with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Sunny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20, where customer satisfaction is king.
You're out of milk.
Robert Smith alongside Mickey Shadrick's back here at JSU Stadium. Sachs has just avoided disaster on a high snap to the quarterback, and Demetrius Powell scoops up the fumble and takes it to the house. 2-point conversion is good. Sachs leads 8-0. Here's the second kickoff of the evening. This is going to go over the head, and the Alexandria return man goes into the end zone. And Alexandria's number 48 there for the Valley Cubs just going to take that one. Quentin Bowie, a freshman. And Alexandria will begin from the 30-yard line again. Valley Cubs' first offensive possession. There's 3 plays and a punt. Cubs going to line up 2 wideouts to either side.
Officials moving the ball to the center of the field. Now we're ready.
So Tucker in the shotgun. They'll bring a man in motion coming to the near side, and they'll hand it to him. That is Alton Davis, and Sachs is not fooled. Great defensive play there by Sachs number 5, Ty Shipe. They're your defensive starters: Andrew Kilgore, Harris, Mosley, Cole Thompson, and Austin Kilgore. In the backfield, Demetrius Powell, Austin Hobbs, and Money Young. And your defensive backs, Darlin Coleman, McCord, and Isaiah Williams. So that play loses about 6 back to the 24-yard line. 2nd and long coming up now for Alexandria. Tucker's going to look. He's going to air it out, looking for Derek Turner. Turner has to turn around. Can't find the football. Defended there by Isaiah Williams for the Wildcats. So the first pass of the evening, Tucker to Turner cannot connect. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 16 for Alexandria.
Turner was open. He had a step on the defender Isaiah Williams in the secondary, but that pass, it wasn't a clean spiral coming out of Luke Tucker's hands, and it was also over the wrong shoulder. If Luke would have thrown that over his right shoulder, even with it being a wobbly pass, that would have been a big play for Alexandria.
So 3rd down and 16 for the Valley Cubs. Tucker's going to look. Little screen to the left side. That's to Hethcock. Hethcock across the 30 and up to the 35-yard line on a little swing pass out to the 35, but it's going to be well short of the first down. Play picks up 11 yards. It'll bring up a fourth down.
Yeah, this is a good play. The only problem is you need it on something a little shorter than 4th and 15. They got good yardage, as Robert said, about a 10-yard gain, but because of the loss on the other play, it's still 4th down. So what a start to the game for the Sacs defense. They've pitched 2 3-and-outs here, and now they get a chance to add to their lead here as we still are fairly early in the first quarter.
And Sacs appears to be picking up where they left off from a year ago. They did lose a lot of folks, but they still have a lot of athletes on that team.
Yeah, you talk about losses. I mean, you lose guys like Trey Smith, the quarterback, defensive back Brock Green, defensive lineman Vincent Hilliard, Devontae Young. Those are some big shoes to fill, but yeah, Robert, they do. They've got some outstanding young talent. We'll see how they develop here tonight.
Here's a handoff for the Wildcats. Number 22, the ball carrier, Calvin Figueroa. He was a big part of this Sacs offense a year ago. And he will be a junior in the fall. Picks up 5 yards up to the 40-yard line. They're going to fake it to him. Quarterback, he's got his first down in Alexandria territory. 30-yard line down the sidelines. 15, 10, 5. And in for a Sacs touchdown goes Devin Harris. And that's kind of what I was talking about, Mickey. Yes, Sacs lost a lot of people, but we're calling a lot of names that really contributed to the team last year. They're just a year older.
Yeah, and for the Sacs fans, that easily could be number 7, which was the number Trey Smith wore last year. Devin Harris, though, he'll be wearing number 6 at quarterback, but that looked a lot like what Sacs fans were used to seeing last year with Trey Smith at quarterback.
Now the play for 2. And in for the 2-point conversion is the Sacs Wildcats number 33, Demetrius Powell. So Sacs has used a couple of big plays to take an early lead over Alexandria. Sacs 16, Alexandria nothing. 7:12 to play here in the opening quarter. We'll take a break, and we'll be back to JSU Stadium in just a moment.
I see public service as a high calling, and particularly in family court, where the most important issues in a family are determined. I've practiced law in domestic relations court since 1981, and that experience helps me make the best decisions for the parties who come before me. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Please vote for me on June the 3rd.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99 and then bring it in for free refills throughout the year. That's right, free popcorn for a full year. Your locally owned and operated Grub Mart, in business for over 72 years.
Welcome back here to JSU Stadium. On the screen, a couple of guys that are not looking really happy. Will Ginn on the left, Andy Shaw, a couple of folks that have been around Alexandria for a long time. Their team already trailing by 2 touchdowns, 16-0.
Yeah, I wonder what they're drawing up in the booth there. The Brain Trust needs to come up with something.
Yeah, they better be sharpening their pencil. Here is the kickoff. And as we talked earlier, they're not returning kicks and not returning punts in this game tonight. So Alexandria will get it from their own 30-yard line. Cubs have been 3 plays and out for both of their possessions so far tonight. Both times they picked up 6 yards and then had to punt.
And they've had negative plays in both series, and that's hurt them. They need to stay out of the negative plays and pick up a couple of first downs and get their feet under them here.
Tucker is going to hand it off to Alton Davis. And again, Sachs has people in the backfield. 1, 2, 3 folks just grabbing Alton Davis right at the time that he touched the football.
And this is what we're talking about, Robert. This is what has been Alexandria's problem in this first quarter. Here another negative play. Alton Davis trying to sweep around the right end, and he's got 3 Wildcat defenders in the backfield, led by big number 52 there, Austin Kilgore. And, you know, there's nothing that Davis could do on that play.
Alton Davis has 4 carries for -8 yards so far in the game tonight. $16-0. Here's timeout on the field. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back in just a moment. A little over 6.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter here. Sachs 16, Alexandria nothing. And Luke Tucker's going to keep it, put his head down, and will barrel forward out across the 29 to about the 30-yard line. There goes Luke. But Alexandria is going to be in a long-distance situation again. Still need 10 yards for the first down.
Yeah, he got back the yardage they lost on the previous play, but it will be 3rd and 10. And obviously no offense wants to be in this particular situation, but Alexandria does have a quarterback with a good arm. They haven't really got it unleashed yet, but they could use a big pass play here.
We're going to split Derek Turner to the right. Couple of Cubs to the left. And Tucker out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Going to try to loop it up and over to Jacob Hethcock. Hethcock cannot haul it in at about the 36-yard line. So it's going to be the same story. 3 plays and punt for Alexandria.
And this was not a bad throw. It was great coverage by Quay McCord. He had to lay it right there on the money to have a chance to complete it because McCord had such good coverage. And again, the pass just a little over the wrong shoulder. Hethcock able to get a hand on it, but unable to kind of tap it to himself and bring it in. So again, as Robert said, 3 and out, 3 straight 3 and outs. And this game is about to get away from Coach Tucker and the Valley Cubs if they're not careful. They needed to get something going offensively, if for no other reason than to keep this defense off the field.
And Sachs with a couple of big plays. A 66-yard fumble return, and then a 60-yard run by Devin Harris. And they're also winning the field position game. They started their first possession at their 34, second possession at their 35. This one will begin from their own 40-yard line. So the Wildcats, now they're going to call timeout. 16-0. Sachs with the lead over Alexandria. 5:36 to play here. See Coach Jonathan Miller. He's a happy man right now. We'll be back.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's does catering, so let Dad's take care of your next party, family reunion, church function, or any type of get-together. Family owned since 1985. Dad's Barbecue, with locations in Anniston and Rainbow City.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Tim Hodges, Don Hudson, J.D. Hess, and Rudy Abbott, asks that you take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
And there's a great shot of Dr. Clinton Ray and Dr. Jeffrey Lawler in attendance tonight. And of course, Dr. Lawler and Dr. Ray, sponsors of our touchdown T-shirts during the fall on Pigskin Roundup, and also sponsoring our throwaway T-shirts here tonight. Of course, awards to remember, and Robert Smith also do a great job making up those T-shirts every year. And Robert, we see a positive play here for this Alexandria defense, something they really needed.
Absolutely. Alexandria able to get in that backfield. And right there, you see the Valley Cubs just as soon as Sachs handed the football off. And the Wildcats going to lose a couple of yards. Here's a quick throw. Pass is complete. Out to Darian Coleman, the senior. Your defensive starters for Alexandria: Kane Heath, Jacob Hethcock, Dakota Sams, Josh Longoria, and Kevin Swink. In the defensive backfield, C.J. Howell, Derek Turner, and Alex Campbell. And your backs, Terrell Gay, Nick Porter, and Riley Shaw. Third down play now for Sachs. This is a big defensive play for Alexandria. Devin Harris looks to the sidelines. He's going to get the snap. He's going to fake. He's going to keep it. Gets away from the Alexandria defender and picks up the first down.
And that is what an athletic quarterback does for you. C.J. Howell, the Alexandria defensive back, had him dead for rights behind the line of scrimmage. But instead, Sachs quarterback Devin Harris makes a move and picks up the first down, and the Alexandria defense stays on the field.
So first down for the Wildcats on the Alexandria side of the field. And as Devin Harris started to hand it off in the backfield, there was nobody there. And as Sachs has done all night, they're taking lemons and making lemonade out of it.
Devin Harris with the run for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and Robert, again, we just mentioned it. This is what an athletic mobile quarterback can do for you, and that's why Devin Harris is our ERA King Real Estate player to watch this upcoming season for the Sachs Wildcats. He's already making a lot of people feel at ease with the fact that Trey Smith's not coming back next year.
They've not missed a beat. They're going to be a whistle and a flag as they snap the football. So we'll see what kind of penalty we have here. Penalty is going to be a false start against the Wildcats, so that'll back them up 5. Back to the 28. So first and 15 now for Sachs. Handoff, nice hole to run through. Down inside the 20 and down to about the 18. We're going to go down to the field to Gerhard. He has Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Emerson.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, I am in with Sheriff Emerson, and he is a very familiar face to everybody here in Calhoun County. First off, Sheriff, talk about this week. It's been Law Enforcement Week, remembering law enforcement officials. Just talk about this week and the way this has gone for you and your deputies.
Well, it's important to us to honor those who have passed away, those who gave their life in ultimate sacrifice. We had a correctional officer who was killed in a car wreck about 18 years ago, Timothy Todd Williams, and of course, Justin Sola Hub just a couple of years ago. It's important for us to remember our people, and this is our week to do that, for us to reflect on the sacrifice we make and these young people, what they do every day.
Talk about your involvement with TV 24, obviously with the Calhoun County's Most Wanted, one of the most popular shows on the airwaves on TV 24. 3,000 arrests here lately. Talk about that milestone.
Well, of course, we just reached that milestone of 3,000 arrests, so that partnership has been awesome for us. If somebody calls us and tells us where a wanted person is, we can go right then serve that warrant, or even they call and say, hey, get my name off of television. So y'all really help us do important things with law enforcement, make the community safe.
You and your deputies have a strong program with the schools here in Calhoun County, an SRO at every school. Also, you'll see their presence at football games. Just talk about the way that your deputies serve the schools.
School resource officers, of course, is something we've had to do in this modern world we live in. Schools can be a target for those who want to do harm. The other thing that we do with schools, we make relationships with those children. They learn those deputies. They know who they are. They know them as human beings. We work with the school administration with problems. And at the end of the day, we want to make that school a better place and make it safe for everybody.
You've been the sheriff here of Calhoun County for the last 20 years, meaning you're heading into election number 6. You're doing something right. First off, talk about the election process. Obviously, it's one of those where it takes a lot of your time. At the same time, you have to do the job that you were elected to do. Talk about this campaign, the way it's going.
Well, I always refer to my re-election as a job evaluation. You have office for 4 years, and at the end of that time, if you're running for re-election, the people decide what kind of job you've done, and they give you a score. So that's the way I try to work at it. But it gets out. I get out in the county. I see a lot of people. I hear what their concerns are, what their problems are, and again, they give us that feedback and information we need to do the job well.
You've done a fantastic job so far, and we know you'll do it again. Good. Best of luck with the campaign. I know you'll be watching out for these Wellborn Panthers. And before we leave you, he is a huge Wellborn guy. First off, talk about these Panthers. I know you weren't able to watch their game earlier tonight. You were at the law enforcement dinner. But talk about what Coach Jeff Smith has done for your alma mater.
Well, Jeff came back to Wellborn, his home, and that's one thing we seem to specialize in, homegrown coaches. And while he's revitalized our team, he's got those young people out there working. We don't have a lot of players, but who we have, they're dedicated. And what are we in tonight? 45? That's great. Get that many points in this kind of game.
Absolutely. Sheriff Larry Emerson knows his law enforcement, knows his football as well. Thank you very much, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you very
Guys, back to you.
All right.
And as you see, there's Wellborn head coach Jeff Smith, who has really turned that program around at Wellborn, left a 6A program to come back, and he's done a great job. And Alexandria's first play of this fourth possession almost ends in disaster, but coming up with the pigskin there for the Valley Cubs is Austin Wells. While we were away, Calvin Figueroa added another Sachs touchdown. 2-point conversion pass was incomplete, and Sachs leads 22-0 now. As you see, with about 2:45 coming up, on about 2:45 remaining in this first period. And Alexandria has gotten themselves in another hole now, 2nd down and 17 from their own 23.
Every series, a negative play.
Luke Tucker is going to toss it. And not much there for the Valley Cubs' Keenan Woodruff.
Devin Harris, who plays defense as well, was the first player there. He had penetration way behind the line of scrimmage. You'll see Harris come into the shot there and just disrupted the play. And that enabled number 50, Monty Young, to finish it off. So again, another 3rd and long for Alexandria.
3rd down, 18 for the Valley Cubs. You'll see Tucker in the shotgun. Cubs bring a man in motion to the near side. Luke's going to roll that way. He's going to air it out, throws into traffic, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for Jamal Tucker, a freshman. But it'll be another 3 and out for Alexandria, the 4th tonight. The Cubs have yet to pick up a first down.
And Robert, that's why it's hard to complete a pass on 3rd and long. I mean, Sachs, obviously knowing Alexandria's got to throw the football. Darian Coleman and Quay McCord were back in that zone. They had the receiver bracketed, and it's just, you know, it's just hard to fit that ball in there when you've got that many defenders guarding the back half of the field, and you need to pick up so many yards. So again, as Robert said, 3 and out for the Valley Cubs. They've yet to pick up a first down in this game, and Sachs is going to have the football with outstanding field position at their own 48-yard line and a 22-0 lead.
And the Wildcats continue to pick up just a little bit of field position on each possession. This will be their best starting field position of the game. Harris with the give. And a nice run there for Sacks number 22, Calvin Figueroa, who scored the touchdown earlier.
You know, a lot of people were wondering, Robert, could Sacks, how would they follow up last year's incredible run, losing so many players? Here you see Figueroa, great-looking tailback. Looks like he's grown.
Yeah.
You know, he's gotten taller, he's strong, runs hard. But I think we're already seeing that Sacks is, you know, maybe not rebuilding, maybe reloading.
And that's not a surprise, not only given the athletes that we knew that they had, but his coaching staff knows how to coach those guys and how to make a team. I think that's one of the things that the Sacks coaches have done the best, is to make a team out of these players. You can have a lot of eyes, but when you can take them and make a lot of we's out of them, make a team, that's a great accomplishment. Another first down for Sacks, down to the 40-yard line.
Number 34,
Chase Smitherman on the tackle for Alexandria, but Sacks has a first down at the Alexandria 40. Harris works out of the shotgun. Quick throw out to Coleman. Coleman picks up about 5. There's Smitherman again. Chase Smitherman, third generation to play football for Alexandria. You don't see that quite as much as you did maybe a few years ago in the Valley, but there's still a lot of folks that have played 3, maybe even 4 generations playing football for the Valley Cubs. And Alexandria's defense now standing up just a little bit. Is going to leave Sacks with a third down and about 5, and a penalty flag lies at the 35-yard line.
That was a great job by Josh Longoria of Alexandria, the defensive tackle. He fought off the block, filled the gap, and was able to stuff that running play and to help the Valley Cubs cause. This is a penalty against the Wildcats.
So Sacks is penalized 10 yards back to the 45. It'll remain second down. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Interesting here, the line is set. You've got the quarterback in the backs. They're just going to let the clock run out and take us to the end of the first quarter.
And what a first quarter it's been. Sacks leading the Valley Cubs 22-0. Sacks has scored every time they've had the football. Alexandria yet to pick up a first down. So it's Sacks 22, Alexandria nothing. We'll be back in just a moment as the Spring Jam continues.
We're making a new Honda at Sunny King Honda more affordable than ever with low lease payments all month long. Lease a new 14 Accord LX for only $199 a month. Lease the all-new 14 Civic LX for only $159 a month. Lease the CRV LX two-wheel drive for only $209 a month. We have a great selection of certified used Hondas, all with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Sunny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20, where customer satisfaction is king.
About this time last year, our air conditioner just flat died.
It was completely worn out.
So we called Kelly with Cleghorn HVAC. He showed us our options, and we chose all new high-efficiency Ruud heating and cooling systems.
Now they're comfortable and saving money.
And we're sure glad we called.
Call us today and get up to a $1,200 rebate and a 10-year worry-free warranty with a new Ruud system for your home. We're Cleghorn HVAC Services, an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer.
Well, Robert, we've talked a lot about Jonathan Miller. You mentioned his connections to Larry Ginn in Alexandria, and he is one of the young and up-and-coming coaches in this entire state, isn't he?
Absolutely. 21-3 in 2 years, and Jonathan had to step into some pretty big shoes of what Clint Smith had done there at Sacks. And then when Clint moved over to Jacksonville, Jonathan stepped up and coaching not only football but coaching basketball as well, just as his mentor Larry Ginn did. I asked Jonathan when he took that job, are you going to still coach basketball? He said, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I may not do it as long as Coach Ken did. So that remains to be seen. But he's doing a great job at both, and Sacks got a man loose again, down to the 10, to the 5, and another Sacks touchdown, another TD by Calvin Figueroa. Figueroa motors down the field. Another big play for the Sachs Wildcats, and they extend their lead to 28-0.
Yeah, the Sachs coaches have to be pleased with this play. First of all, great blocking. You see the hole was there. And Figueroa breaks the tackle there. Then it's a foot race. And that's a situation that Figueroa is going to win most of the time. Again, another touchdown run for that young man. And Sachs just pouring it on here, going for 2 again.
Sachs lined up with a full house backfield. There's a handoff and an easy 2-point conversion by Demetrius Powell. And Sachs has extended their lead to 30-0 over Alexandria. 11 minutes, 50 seconds still to play here in the second quarter.
And I don't know about you, Robert, but I'm surprised here at what we've seen so far. Was expecting a little bit more of a competitive matchup here in the early going. So you got to tip your hat to the Sachs Wildcats. Again, we've talked a lot about this the last 2 days of the Calhoun County Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam. These coaches and these players, they don't have much time together. I mean, there's only a couple of weeks of a window to get spring practice in. And you know, we saw some great execution last night from Ohatchee. We saw some great execution earlier today from Welburn, and it doesn't get any better than this if you're the Sachs Wildcats.
And Mickey, Sachs is doing exactly what I expected them to do. They're picking up where they left off a year ago. But in Alexandria's defense, they have changed their offense. They're running a different offense than they've run the wing T for 30 years or more. And when you look at the starters, I see something that I don't believe I have ever seen. And Alexandria's offensive and defensive starters, Mickey, there's not one senior on either offense or defense.
Well, I think that is the theme. I think Alexandria still knows they, another year away, they will have some of these young guys with heading into their senior year. So, you don't want to read too much into these spring games anyway, other than that Sachs looks really good considering all they lost last year.
Absolutely. So the Alexandria Valley Cubs will begin from their 30. And there's another fumble. Bounces the right way. Alton Davis picks it up out across the 40, 45. And there's the first down of the ball game for Alexandria as Alton Davis picks up the fumble and is able to motor 22 yards with it out across the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Well, this is how Sachs got going. They had a high snap, and they wound up picking it up and running it in for a touchdown. Maybe this lucky bounce that wound up in the arms of Alton Davis for a positive gain and a first down. Maybe this will get the Valley Cub offense going.
First down now from the 48. Tucker's in the shotgun. And there's another fumble, and Sachs is going to get points out of this one.
Well, maybe not.
Yep.
Maybe that bounce is not what is going to get Alexandria going, because Sachs gets their lucky bounce here.
Yep. Sachs.
Wow.
Picks up Alexandria back-to-back fumbles, and Devin Harris makes them pay with this one as he picks it up. And you'll see right here, there's loose pigskin. Devin Harris in the right place at the right time, picks it up and goes untouched into the end zone. And this one is getting ugly, 36-0.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for the Valley Cubs, it's hard enough when you watch a team drive on you, but then to give up quick strikes, big plays like that. 3 of these touchdowns, at least 3, have come on big plays.
So the Wildcats now for the PAT. And it looks like they're going to choose to kick it this time. Marcellus Mosley to kick. And it is no good. So the score remains 36-0. 11-11 remaining. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the Spring Jam here on TV 24.
When it comes to the financing of your home, experience counts. At Jackson Mortgage Company, put that experience to work for you. There's a reason homeowners across East Alabama have chosen Jackson Mortgage Company since 1994. Jackson Mortgage Company is a full-service mortgage company offering VA, FHA, and conventional financing with competitive rates. Let Jackson Mortgage Company put their experience to work for you. And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
Ever have to unfriend someone on Facebook? No hard feelings or anything, but it was just time to move on. I want to help you unfriend your old car today and give you something to tweet about. Hey, this is Randy Visser from Talladega Ford with a deal everyone will like. Unfriend your old car today by trading it into us, and we'll give you $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for it. Now that's a deal worth sharing. Still making payments on a car you hate? Trade it in even if you owe way too much on it and get in a nicer, newer car with little or even zero money down. Come see us and start taking your selfies in a nicer, newer car today.
Robert Smith alongside Mickey Shadrick's back here at JSU Stadium. Sacks Marcellus Mosley to kick off. And Alexandria will field it at the 18, and Alton Davis brings it back up to the middle, but as they're not really using live kickoff returns or punts for that matter tonight, Alexandria will get it for the 6th time from their own 30-yard line. This game is brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission, RMC, and Sonny King Honda. From the 30-yard line, Alexandria in desperate need of something positive. Pair of wide receivers to the right, one to the near side. Luke Tucker's in the shotgun. He's going to throw. He's got a man, but sacks right there as Alexandria completes the pass. Sacks Darian Coleman is there to make the tackle. And the play's actually going to lose 5 yards back to the 25-yard line.
Another negative play, but what about the closing speed by Darian Coleman? This is a tough play for a corner. You have to have that outside leverage, because if you overcommit inside, it can be a touchdown the other way because there's not much support behind you. But Darian Coleman played it perfectly, broke quickly on the ball, broke down, kept outside leverage, and brought the receiver to the ground.
Tucker in the shotgun again, and he's going to be tackled as he runs into his own man. One of the Alexandria blockers was just basically driven back into Luke Tucker, and you'll see that right here. Coming into the Valley Cub backfield is Demetrius Powell, and Powell just caused enough mischief there in the backfield that knocked the Alexandria blocker back into Luke Tucker, and they're all the way back to the 19-yard line, looking at 3rd down and 21.
I've been impressed with Demetrius Powell. He has definitely made his presence felt here in this first half.
Tucker's going to look to throw, and the pass is a little bit too far, out close to 1st down territory, as it was intended there for Jamal Tucker, freshman.
And again, more defensive backs back there than Luke Tucker would like to see, but that's the situation on a 3rd and very long. Very hard to complete a pass against the Wildcat secondary in that kind of situation.
So they're going to mark 30 yards off as if it was a 30-yard punt, and sacks will now begin from their own 49-yard line. Frank Tucker, the head coach, 7 seasons under his belt. He was a quarterback at Alexandria from 1981 to 1983. Son Luke is the current quarterback, and he's led the Valley Cubs to the playoffs every year except this past year. Frank Tucker has been basically at Alexandria his entire life. Went to school there, played football there, and really never left. Was basically a graduate assistant while working his way through Jacksonville State. Came right back to Alexandria. A longtime assistant and offensive coordinator under Larry Ginn, and now the head coach. Sacks with the give. Back to the line of scrimmage, and not much positive gain there.
Good job by the right side of that Alexandria defensive line, stuffing that play. No gain, 2nd and long now.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, maybe just a little bit more than 10. Wildcats line up with 3 men in the backfield. Here's the give The Sachs is beginning to substitute just a bit. Jonathan Oliphant, number 4, on his first carry of the night.
And this is the kind of night it's been for Alexandria. When it looks like they've come up with another big defensive play, a flag comes in, and this could be a face mask. And that's the call. Tough break for the Valley Cubs. They would have hit Sachs in a 3rd and 12. Instead, it's going to be a first down via the penalty. When it rains, it pours, if you're Frank Tucker today.
You know, talking about when it rains, it pours reminds me, do you remember last year, Mickey?
Oh, yes.
You and I were so looking forward to the game. We got to do 1 quarter, and the rain ended that ball game. A lot different night, but the rain's pouring in a different way here this evening.
That wasn't a very brazen face mask. It just enough, though. Number 81, Kevin Swink, hand got on that face mask. He took it off quick. That is actually a call that could have gone either way, but it goes against the Valley Cubs here.
So Sachs with a first down from the Cub 38. And they're beginning to maybe take a little bit of time off the clock. And here's the give. Into open territory, coming back to the near side. Nice looking run there by the Wildcats, Demetrius Powell. And he puts another TD on the board for Sachs.
Yeah, I said this a moment ago. I am as impressed with Powell as I am Devin Harris, the quarterback. He's a football player. He's just got ideal size. He plays offense and defense. This is his 2nd touchdown of the game. He scored the first touchdown when he picked up the loose ball and ran it in for a touchdown. He's made some great stops on the defensive side. So Demetrius Powell, a name we'll be looking out for this fall.
And Sachs is going to bring on yet another kicker. Dylan Pontero, number 64, is lined up to kick the extra point. Devin Harris will hold. And there's a flag and a whistle about the time they snap the football.
There is Alan Gilbert, your referee tonight. Alan, a veteran of high school officiating in this area. You know, and the officials are also, this is spring training for them. You know, Alan in the first game had his iPad out and he was standing behind the play and he was filming the umpire. They're obviously getting a lot of film that they can go back and look at and analyze, just like the teams will do as they have to get ready for the season as well.
So the penalty backs them up 5 yards. Pontero, what will amount to a 25-yard extra point, and it is no good. So it's Sachs 42, Alexandria nothing. 8 minutes, 24 seconds to play here in the 2nd quarter. So Sachs has just had everything go their way tonight. And there you see the band up in the stadium.
Now, which band is that? That's Alexandria band. Okay, that's our monitor. It looks kind of almost purplish, doesn't it?
Kind of threw me there.
I mean, that's nothing like orange. But we see some orange sitting next to them. The truck tells us that is for sure the Alexandria band. And, you know, the bands have been participating in these games this year at the Spring Jam. It just adds so much to the atmosphere. They do a great job, and they're getting a chance to kind of to get in to form as well, getting to come out and play at the games.
Marcellus Mosley kicks. Alton Davis brings it back for just a little bit, then pitches it back to Alan Gilbert. And
you know, Robert, there's got to be a story why they're wearing that. Maybe Gerhard can find that out. I mean, when's the last time you've seen the Alexandria band in such a non-orange color?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the Alexandria historian. Tell me.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen it, so that would be the answer to the question. But the why, we'll leave that to Gerhard. Alexandria the first down play, and here's a quick give to Davis, and Davis back to the line of scrimmage. And nothing more. Alton Davis, 6 carries for 14 yards tonight. Not much.
And you know another name we haven't called much?
Tyrell Gay. Yeah.
He is a great athlete, Alexandria. Had a good year last year.
So second down play now for the Cubs from the 30. Tucker's going to take the snap. Luke's going to keep it, and we'll move forward up to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line.
Number 12, Tucker with the carry for the Valley Cubs. He's taken down by number 6.
So it's going to be another third down and long for Alexandria. Third down and 7.
And there's Tyrell Gay, number 2.
They'll bring up third.
I know he had a groin injury a couple of weeks ago, so obviously he is the kind of talent that would be making a difference in this game.
So the Valley Cubs break huddle, third down and 7. In desperate need of something positive. Here's a little throw out to Derek Turner, and Turner catches it about the 37-yard line and keeps those legs churning and may have picked up the first down, and I believe he did, out across the 40 to about the 40.5-yard line. Got a little bit more than what he needed.
Great second effort here. A little screen pass over to the left. And Turner gets a little bit of a block there, and then he has to do the rest on his own. Just keeps those legs churning and picks up 3 additional yards, enough for a Valley Cub first down. And hey, that's something positive. Keeps the offense on the field here as we tick down near the 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
And this is 2 generations of Tucker to Turner, as Frank Tucker actually threw passes to Derek Turner's dad a few years ago. And here's another long one, and he was looking to make that Tucker to Turner connection again down at the 20-yard line, and Luke led him just a little bit too far.
Turner had a step on the defender. And yeah, Robert, Tucker's pass just a couple of yards too long. That's one of those passes that when you've had a little more time to work together, Luke Tucker probably completes that pass, but instead it's just a long incompletion here. 2nd and 10.
From the 41. Tucker with the give. And a nice looking play there by Alton Davis. Davis moves into Sachs territory down to the 48-yard line, and this is the first time, Mickey, that Alexandria has crossed the 50-yard line tonight.
Wow. And you know they'd love to close the first half with some points, something positive to build on going into the locker room and then come out in the third quarter and play some football. So this is a big drive for the Valley Cub offense. They've got something going here at the Sachs 48.
Tucker with a snap. Hand off to Davis. Alton bounces it outside, 40-yard line, and he'll pick up another first down inside the 40 to about the 37. So that's a gain of another 11 yards.
Number 33, Demetrius Howell.
Great patient running, too, by Davis. He waited on his block to develop, and then he made his cut to the outside. Very good job running there by Alton Davis.
So now from the 37. 5:39 on the clock here in the second quarter. Here's a give, a penalty play to see if it holds up, but Alexandria be down to the 10 and into the end zone. But hold on, because there's a penalty flag.
Yeah, it's thrown when the area where you normally see holding. We're going to get the preliminary call here as the officials talk it over This will be a devastating penalty if against Alexandria. Chop block against the Valley Cubs.
So that's going to take away the Keenan Woodruff run.
See if we can see it here inside. Well, I saw there number 50, the Wildcat defender, was hit low, Monty Young, and I'm not sure what blocker got him low, and not really can't see enough to say for sure. Let's get another look here. There's the low block there at the 45-yard line on Young. And the official throws the flag. So a touchdown call back for Frank Tucker's team. Tough break. Get one more look at it here. You'll see from the left of your screen, number 50 comes up, boom, right there. A little bit too far down the field in the official's estimation to go that low. And what's really tough for Alexandria is Young was not in position to make the play. So it was really a needless penalty, but nonetheless, one Alexandria will have to accept and deal with here. And Coach Tucker having a word with the official. I'm sure it's about the call. I don't know what else he would be arguing about right here. Yeah, he's calling over the official that made the call, and Coach Tucker wanting a little bit more of an explanation.
Mickey, Keenan Woodruff is an 8th grader who took the ball down into the end zone before it was called back. Want to take a guess at who was the last 8th grader to play running back for Alexandria?
I don't need but one guess on that one. Mr. Matt Campbell.
Yep. I remember actually was in this stadium the first time I ever saw Mac play when Jacksonville High School was playing in this stadium. As we see we're going to look at the play once again.
Young comes from his inside linebacker position and then just gets taken off his feet there at the 45.
But I remember thinking, Mickey, looking 2 or 3 times at my roster, are we really starting an 8th grader, and thinking either one or two things, just either this kid is special or we're in serious trouble, one of the two things. And Keenan Woodruff playing as an 8th grader.
Well, Robert, I have said this many times over the years, and this is when people ask me about Matt Campbell, this is my standard quote. Matt Campbell is the only high school running back I have covered in almost 30 years of doing this that made me inch to the edge of my seat every time he touched the football. And I've seen some good ones. I've seen Carnell Williams. I've seen Rock Thomas last year. I could go down the list of backs I've seen, but nobody quite made me inch to the edge of my seat like Matt Campbell did.
He was special to watch. Here's Alton Davis carrying the football for Alexandria, and Alton down inside the 45 down to the 43.
What made him so special too was that the time it took him to get to 4th gear was small.
Split second.
You know, he went from 1st to 4th, and I still can see him so easy taking that pitch, going to the corner, kind of hesitating, letting his block set up, and boom, gone. Too bad we weren't doing TV games back then. We'd have a lot of footage to show.
Yep. Now from the 43.
The truck says they're digging it up now.
Here's a nice play for the Cubs. 30, 20-yard line, 15, 10, 5, and in for a touchdown is Alexandria's number 29, Jamal Tucker, who's another young man who is making his first mark playing for Alexandria. He's a freshman. And Tucker gets the first points of this football game for Alexandria, coming with 4:33 to play here before halftime.
That's what you needed. That's how you respond to the tough break and the penalty and the touchdown being called back. You get a big play and get into the end zone, and exactly what the doctor ordered for the Valley Cubs.
So the Cubs are going to line up to go for 2. Jacob Hethcock in the backfield to the left of Luke Tucker. And he'll take the give, and he's down there, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So it's 42-8.
Number 15, Jacob Hethcock.
And here's the play for the touchdown. Luke Tucker throwing it out to Jamal Tucker. And Tucker just takes it all the way back across the field. Here's another angle.
All those Sachs defenders pursuing right.
Yep.
Tucker senses it, goes back left, shows nice speed, outruns 2 defenders to the end zone, and Sachs, or I should say Alexandria, on the board. See Coach Ginn and Coach Shaw. Glad to see that. Everybody can kind of take a deep breath now.
Is that what they were doing?
This was an avalanche they were hit with early. And now if you're Coach Tucker, there's still 4:33 left in the first half, but now you go in the locker room and, you know, I would imagine Coach Tucker would say something to the effect of, hey guys, it's a 1-quarter game. You know, we're going to go out and play 12 minutes of football and forget what happened in the first quarter and a half and leave here with something positive to build on. Assuming we see the younger players in the junior varsity in the fourth quarter, that'll be all we'll see. The regulars will be 3 quarters.
And this kickoff just kind of hits at about the 18-yard line and dies right there, but it really doesn't matter. Sachs is going to take it from the 30. And there you see the drummers for these Sachs Wildcats. You're exactly right, Mickey. You talked earlier that how much the bands add to these football games.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, the young men love to come play in a venue such as this at JSU Stadium, and the band enjoys that opportunity as well.
Let's pitch it down to Gerhard for an update.
All right, guys, you asked about these T-shirts that the Alexandria band is wearing. I have Chase Robinson holding one up right now. It was the band shirt from When Swing Was King. It's the actual Alexandria High School band shirt for this season. And on the back is a Bible verse, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to swing dance. And that's the reason why they're wearing those navy blue and black shirts today.
Well, thanks a lot, Gerhard. We sure were curious, weren't we, Robert?
Absolutely. Now we know.
Now we know.
Another big play for Sachs there. Gets them up to the 48-yard line. They have another first down. Another quarterback in the ball game for the Wildcats. Gives it off to Oliphant. Quay McCord in it. Quarterback, he is a junior.
And the temperature just continues to kind of go south here. It's been a great weather yesterday and great weather today, and it's jacket weather right now.
Almost. Not what you expect in the middle of May.
No.
Sachs with a second down now from the Cub 48. Forward with a fake, and Alexandria is going to be able to come up with a big play here as McCord faked, and you're going to see Kane Heath come in and wrap him up back at the Sachs 45. So Sachs with a third down. They have to make it down to the Alexandria 42 to pick up the first. So it'll be third down and 13 for the Wildcats with a commanding 42-8 lead over Alexandria. And there are whistles and a snap, and a penalty flag lies thrown by the line judge at about the 48. And Sachs is backing up. False start against the Wildcats.
The movement are called against Sachs. They'll make it third and long for the Wildcats.
So third down and 19 now for Sachs. They're going to bring Alfonso Ward in motion. He'll line up in the slot to the right. And McCord's going to give, and Alexandria has the right men in the right spots to make that tackle. Led by Alexandria's number 65, Tyler Moody. He was one of about 3 Valley Cubs there to make the tackle.
Number 81, Kevin Sweet with the tackle for the Valley Cubs.
And the Cubs are going to take a timeout. 1:54 to play. Thinking that they might get the football back. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back. You're listening or watching the Spring Jam here on TV 24.
The physical therapists and athletic trainers at Dr. Clinton Ray Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy are dedicated to bringing the patients of Northeast Alabama the most advanced therapy treatments available to return you to your active lifestyle. Dr. Clinton Ray and Dr. Jeffrey Lawler are both committed to providing excellent surgical care of your orthopedic needs. The doctors and therapy staff have the desire and experience to treat you like a world-class athlete, but with a personal touch.
Sheriff Larry Amerson is a proven professional law enforcement executive, a man of integrity with education, experience, and training, selected to be the president of the National Sheriff's Association in recognition of leadership and innovation. He is prepared and eager to continue to protect the people of Calhoun County. Vote Amerson in the Republican primary on June 3rd to re-elect a proven conservative leader, Sheriff Larry Amerson.
This is Larry Amerson, and I approve this message.
Welcome back here to JSU Stadium. Alexandria and Sachs. The Wildcats leading the Valley Cubs 42-8, and still some spirit in the stands from the young ladies wearing orange. And the Valley Cubs with the football would love to see some points here before the halftime break. They're going to bring Tucker in motion. Luke Tucker hands to him, and Jamal picks up his first down, still going. Following some blockers into Sachs territory and down to the Wildcat 41-yard line. 25-yard run there by Jamal Tucker.
Yeah, they're getting Tucker going here. Had the big touchdown run just a few moments ago. Comes up with the big play here. And we get another look at it here. That speed sweep out of that new offense that Robert was talking about that Alexandria has installed now, getting away from that wing tee. And now you had Alexandria getting on the scoreboard. You had the defense coming up with the 3 and out. Now the offense has time here before halftime to possibly score more points.
Luke Tucker's going to drop back. He's going to throw over the middle. Got a man wide open at the 20. Down to the 10. And down to the 5-yard line.
Great job there, Robert, by Alex Campbell, the tight end. He was wide open coming over the middle, and Luke Tucker had time here. Steps to his left, gets his feet set, delivers a perfect strike to Campbell. Campbell just ducks his head and bulls his way down to the 5. Lost the football, but he was down by contact, ruled the official. So Alexandria with a 1st and goal and a chance to score again.
First down now from the 5. Luke Tucker with a high snap. He handles it, hands it to Alton Davis, and Davis is in for an Alexandria touchdown. So at least on that drive, Alexandria's offense clicked. And down the field the Cubs go. It's 42-14.
Alton Davis here. Turns it up between the tackles. Meets a defender there at the 2 and just wins that battle as he powers his way into the end zone. And here's some Alexandria pride coming out here. Falling down 42-0. The Valley Cubs have answered back with 2 quick scores, making this game a little more respectable here near halftime.
Cubs going for 2. And Tucker throws into the end zone. Derek Turner's got it. Pass is complete. 2-point conversion is good. And Alexandria has now scored 16 unanswered. It's Sachs 42, Alexandria 16. And
Robert, that was as pretty a pass as the one to Campbell, because the receiver there had basically almost like boxing out under the goal in basketball, and he just kind of separated a little bit there. And Luke Tucker, as you see there, our ERA King real estate player to watch for Alexandria heading into 2014 season. And Luke with 2 great passes on that drive for the big play down to the 6-yard line, then on the 2-point conversion.
And you saw Luke there wearing number 12. There's his dad, the head coach. And, you know, there's pressure on any quarterback, Mickey, but when your dad's the coach, it's got to be a little added pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And, you know, that is something that the Ginn family had to live with. You know, Larry Ginn coached his 3 sons.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were all great performers. And of course, Luke Tucker is showing that he's going to be already is a very good quarterback and still a very young quarterback.
And here's the kickoff. It'll be fielded by Sachs, and they'll take it from the 30-yard line. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission, RMC, and by Sonny King Honda. We thank those folks for bringing you this Alexandria versus Sachs game. And Sachs now will have it from their own 30.
By the way, Robert, coming up at halftime, don't go away. Don't leave that TV set. Don't pick up that remote. We have a very, very special presentation we're going to be making down on the field, and that's a little hint. That's all we'll tell you. John Holder and that young man walking, getting ready. So stay tuned.
And John had an envelope in his hand. Here's a handoff. Nice hole to run through for the Wildcats. Number 4, Oliphant. And he picks up about 5 yards up to about the 35.
Wildcats content to slow it down and let the clock run. Get to the locker room. Penetration there, Robert.
Yeah. Nice defensive play there for Alexandria's number 18, Kane Heath, who comes in and makes the tackle of Demetrius Powell.
And Powell is no easy guy to tackle either. Get him low. That's what you got to do with a big, strong, physical runner like Demetrius Powell. Good job there.
So you're seeing just a little bit of pep and enthusiasm out of Alexandria, and Sachs, after taking a 42-0 lead, leads Alexandria 42-16 here at the halftime break. So we've had one half. We'll play another one. Halftime coming up in just a moment. Thanks for joining us here on TV 24. This is the Spring Jam.
Attention race fans, don't miss Talladega Short Track's Thunder Thursday, May 29th, featuring 120-mile-per-hour USCS Outlaw Sprint Cars presented by K&N Filters, plus NASCAR veteran Ken Schrader racing in the K&N Filters USCS Outlaw Modifieds, the Neesmith Late Models, and Stock Car Racing. Thunder Thursday with USCS Outlaw Sprint Cars, Outlaw Modifieds, Neesmith Late Models, Stock Car Racing, and Ken Schrader. Thursday, May 29th at Talladega Short Track on Speedway Boulevard. Estaboga, be there.
When it comes to the financing of your home, experience counts. At Jackson Mortgage Company, put that experience to work for you. There's a reason homeowners across East Alabama have chosen Jackson Mortgage Company since 1994. Jackson Mortgage Company is a full-service mortgage company offering VA, FHA, and conventional financing with competitive rates. Let Jackson Mortgage Company put their experience to work for you. And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
The physical therapists and athletic trainers at Dr. Clinton Ray Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy are dedicated to bringing the patients of Northeast Alabama the most advanced therapy treatments available to return you to your active lifestyle. Dr. Clinton Ray and Dr. Jeffrey Lawler are both committed to providing excellent surgical care of your orthopedic needs. The doctors and therapy staff have the desire and experience to treat you like a world-class athlete, but with a personal touch.
We are celebrating all month long at Buster Mall Chevrolet during our 67th anniversary sale. And to celebrate, we are offering huge discounts on all new Chevys, like the new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Save over $7,500 off MSRP. Or the all-new 2014 Chevy Impala, only $25,660. So don't miss our 67th anniversary sale at Buster Mall Chevrolet at our original downtown location in Heflin for the difference worth driving since 1947.
And we're back at JSU Stadium on the campus of Jacksonville State University, the grand finale of the 2014 Calhoun County Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam. And at halftime, it is Sacs with a commanding 42-16 lead over the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Robert, it was a great start for the Wildcats, 42 unanswered points, but the Alexandria Valley Cubs showing some life there in that last quarter and getting those two back-to-back scores. That was big for them going into the locker room.
Absolutely, Mickey, and you can look at this game from a lot of angles. We talked a bit about the rivalry between the two teams at the beginning, but Alexandria had got off to a slow start, but that was very possibly because you're changing, running a different offense than you've run for 30 years, and things don't change very easily out in the Valley, and the Cubs had run that wing tee through all your Pee-wees and all the way up, so those kids were all used to that. Now changing to this more of a bit of a spread offense, it may have taken Alexandria just a little bit to get started. That doesn't take anything away from the Sacs Wildcats picking up right where they left off from a year ago.
That's exactly right. And speaking of a year ago for the Sacs Wildcats, we talked about all the players they lost off that outstanding 13-1 team, best season in school history. One of those players is standing by on the field now with Pigskin Roundup host John Holder for a very special award presentation.
Mickey and Robert, you know, back in December, we had our KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet at Word Alive with Auburn head coach Gus Malzahn as our special guest speaker. And then we had 24 top players in East Alabama, along with our coach of the year. One of those 24 players, Sacs Devontae Young, a great senior player for Sacs last year, a linebacker, an all-state player. And we have one more award to give away, though, that we do not give away that night. We give it away later on in the spring. And that is our Pigskin Roundup All-Star Team Scholarship Award, and this is made possible by KFC, TV24, and America's First Federal Credit Union. This is a $1,500 scholarship, and the winner this year is Devontae Young of the Sacs High School Wildcats. It goes to a senior member of our Pigskin Roundup All-Star Team, and Devontae, congratulations, very well deserving.
Thank you.
Devontae is, tell about some of the accolades there. I know you told me you had a 3.0 grade point average, and you just picked up another big award at Sacs High School just within the last week, right?
Yes, sir. I won the essay contest, fill out an application, and then I won Student of the Year, and I'm working on scholarship right now.
Now, college plans, you've got about 3 choices you were telling me earlier. What are some of the choices you have where you may enroll in college this fall?
Either Jack State or Gaston State or maybe Southern Union.
And what are your future plans? What do you think? You know what you want to maybe pursue as far as a career?
Well, I want to be a pediatrician because I like helping children and stuff. I want to take care of people.
All right, great job, and great job on the field and off the field. As he said, not only a Pigskin Roundup All-Star Team member, which means he was one of the top linebackers in all of East Alabama, regardless of classification, but also, as he just told you, Sacs High School Student of the Year for the 2013-14 school year. Now, let's go back to last season, maybe the greatest season in Sacs High School history. Just tell us about your thoughts on that team last year.
Well, I don't know, it was unbelievable, but we all have faith and, we stay on the field, we trust each other, we help each other, we pick each other up when we're down, and when we all work together as a team, and we build a nation. I don't know how to explain it as well, but we came in as a unit, and we almost went all the way, but we just had mistakes at the semifinals, and that what brought us down, but we still okay. But hopefully this year, they be better than us than we was last year.
What do you think about this bunch so far before we let you go? Pretty impressive performance here in the first half.
Oh, yes, sir. It's a big game for Devin Harris, Calvin Figueroa, and Demetrius Powell. They doing very well. They improved from last year.
very deserving young man. This scholarship award is based not only on athletics but academics, also as far as good citizenship and need. And Devontae, congratulations. Our Pigskin Roundup All-Star Team Scholarship Award, Devontae Young of the Sacs Wildcats, guys.
Thanks a lot, John, and we join you in congratulating Devontae Young. You can see there the way the young man talks and the smile he has. You talk to anybody at Sacs, which we did. We really researched this when we make that decision, which is why we don't do it at the banquet. We take our time. We see how the grades are shaping up for the entire school year. As John said, it's obviously athletic performance on the field is important because Devontae was a part of our all-star team, but also we look at the performance in the classroom. We look at how things are as far as needs go, and in every category, Devontae Young, it was a unanimous decision. There were some great candidates on our team this year, but Devontae Young was a clear choice for the recipient of our Pigskin Roundup KFC America's First Scholarship Award. And from all of us at Pigskin Roundup and TV24, we congratulate Devontae. Hate to see his career come to an end. He was such a great player and on and off the field for the Sacs Wildcats, but we wish him the best in his endeavors as he heads to college.
Great young man, and great to see that he was able to receive that award, and he'll take it to use it well. 42-16, Sacs leads Alexandria here at the halftime break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Vernon Thomas, General Manager, Sonny King, Toyota, and Scion. And this May, that's right, we're racing for a record. We're going to break all the new sales records this month, and you're going to be the winner. You can save up to $5,000 off MSRP on all new Camrys, Tundras, Highlanders, Benzes, Avalon. We got so many deals we don't have time to talk about it. Come experience the King difference at all new Sonny King, Toyota, and Scion on a new motor mile in Oxford, Alabama, where the customer is king.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's does catering, so let Dad's take care of your next party, family reunion, church function, or any type of get-together. Family owned since 1985. Dad's Barbecue, with locations in Anniston and Rainbow City.
Forsyth Builders are passionate about what they do. A full-service contracting firm, Forsyth handles a variety of jobs, including industrial, commercial, renovations, and new construction. Forsyth has become a leader in construction management and has constructed or made additions on a number of area businesses like Noble Bank and ABS Business Systems, additions to Anniston's Country Club and F&M Bank.
Remember to make Forsyth Building Company your first choice for quality construction.
I see public service as a high calling, and particularly in family court, where the most important issues in a family are determined. I've practiced law in domestic relations court since 1981, and that experience helps me make the best decisions for the parties who come before me. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Please vote for me on June the 3rd.
Back here at JSU Stadium, Burgess Snow Field, on the campus of Jacksonville State University, where the Sacs Wildcats lead Alexandria 42-16 here at the halftime break. Third quarter action coming up in just a moment.
Attention race fans, don't miss Talladega Short Track's Thunder Thursday, May 29th, featuring 120-mile-per-hour USCS Outlaw Sprint Cars presented by K&N Filters, plus NASCAR veteran Ken Schrader racing in the K&N Filters USCS Outlaw Modifieds, the Neesmith Late Models, and Stock Car Racing. Thunder Thursday with USCS Outlaw Sprint Cars, Outlaw Modifieds, Neesmith Late Models, Stock Car Racing, and Ken Schrader. Thursday, May 29th at Talladega Short Track on Speedway Boulevard. Estaboga, be there.
We're making a new Honda at Sonny King Honda more affordable than ever with low lease payments all month long. Lease a new 14 Accord LX for only $199 a month. Lease the all-new 14 Civic LX for only $159 a month. We have a great selection of certified used Hondas, all with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Sonny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20 on Highway 78 East in Oxford, where customer satisfaction is king.
Looking for a place to have dinner with your family or that special someone? Why not try Affina's, a unique Tuscan grill specializing in Italian fare. From Italian meats sliced daily and baked to perfection to healthy choices for little ones. We look forward to seeing you soon for your next lunch or dinner, or contact us to help you plan your next party or event, because Affina's is all about casual yet sophisticated dining.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Tim Hodges, Don Hudson, J.D. Hess, and Rudy Abbott, asks that you take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
We're back here at JSU, just about ready in just a few minutes for the third quarter. Sacs jumped out to a 42-0 lead over Alexandria, and the Valley Cubs scoring 16 unanswered at the end of the second quarter.
You know, Robert, one interesting thing about these two teams, we talked a lot about last year's seasons, and we did in the Open, and looking forward to the fall of 2014, both of these teams are moving up. The Alexandria Valley Cubs are moving up to Class 5A Region 6. It'll be the first time in school history that Alexandria has competed in 5A. Other region opponents will be Anniston, Hayden, Lincoln, Moody, Mortimer Jordan, St. Clair County, and Springville. Meanwhile, for the Sacs Wildcats, they will be moving from Class 3A to Class 4A, and they will be competing with Cherokee County, Cleburne County, Crossville, Jacksonville, Sardis, and White Plains in their 4A region. So both of these teams on the move up with the new classifications. If you joined us earlier between games, you heard John and Gerhard talking about that. We're going to have to get used to saying Class 7A now. And but you know, everybody's got an opinion about it, and I think most of the people I've talked to, they think it was a good move, and I do too. I think that separation at that top end of the schools, where you've got some of those top schools competing for state championships, I think it kind of levels the playing field a little bit. And speaking of the playing field, let's head down to the surface now and check in with John.
Okay, guys, all during the football season on Pigskin Roundup, you hear us talk a lot about and show a lot of throwing out the Dr. Clinton Ray touchdown T-shirts. Well, during the Spring Jam, the last couple of nights, we've been throwing out the Spring Jam T-shirts. Cheerleaders have been throwing out a lot of those. And again, Dr. Clinton Ray and Awards to Remember presenting these T-shirts. And we have the man with us. A lot of folks, you know, they hear us talking about Dr. Clinton Ray and the touchdown T-shirts every Friday night, but we rarely get to talk with the man himself. And he's here on the sidelines at the Spring Jam. Welcome, and great night for football tonight. Feels like football weather.
It definitely feels like football weather. It's been a great time. We've really enjoyed it. Been some good competition, and people seem to enjoy the T-shirts, so it's always a good thing.
You know, this thing has become such a big thing. Everywhere we go on Friday nights, knowing my crew's out, we have folks begging for the T-shirts. They want the touchdown T-shirts. This thing's really very quickly become a tradition on Friday nights around here.
It really has. They asked me for them in my office, and so I was like, wait a minute, I'm not Channel 24. They don't give me any, so. It's really been a good thing, and it's really helped us a lot with our physical therapy and getting our name out, and we enjoy supporting 24 and the school.
Yeah, it's really been a great thing. We appreciate you and the support you give, not only the touchdown T-shirts, but you're on the sidelines. I see you a lot of times on Friday nights at different games around, and you're out there on Friday nights working with these guys just like you're doing tonight.
That's right. My partner and I, Jeff Lawler, we cover games all year long, from baseball to softball to football, and we enjoy watching the sports. We hope not to see any injuries, but that's what we're here for, to help out if needed.
We were even able to give away some of these. We had the Munford cheerleaders throwing them out at the All-Star banquet this year, and that went over as a big hit as well. So we just look for new ways to throw these out, and they're very popular, and we thank you for your support of Pigskin Roundup and high school football.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all.
Dr. Clinton Ray here at halftime, just a few seconds away now from second half action of Alexandria and Sacs, guys.
And you see Jonathan Miller there, the head football coach, in has completed 2 seasons, about to enter his 3rd season as the head football coach of the Sacs Wildcats. And his team performed very well in this first half of play. And there you see him giving instruction to his team. And might have seen maybe just a little, I'm not sure complacency is the word, but Sacs played started playing a lot of people toward the end of that second quarter, and maybe weren't working as well as a well-oiled machine as they were early in the game, and you're going to see some of that when you're leading 42-0.
Yeah, and the game started off kind of on a quirky play. If you weren't with us, the Sacs had the football, and they had a high snap to the quarterback, Devin Harris, and it bounced around Alexandria. A couple of Alexandria defenders had a chance to pounce on the ball, and instead Demetrius Powell picked it up, and he ran some 50-plus yards for a touchdown. So that's how the game got started, and the momentum got on the side of the Sacs Wildcats, and then it just kind of began to steamroll against Alexandria. But again, credit the Valley Cubs for showing some grit and determination there toward the end of the half, getting those 2 touchdowns, getting a couple of defensive stops, which enabled the Alexandria offense to put 2 scores on the board there late. And here's the play we're talking about. There you see the snap, actually a little to the left, and Harris had a chance to pick it up. There you see a Sacs defender on it, and it kind of skips out of there, and there's Demetrius Powell. Picks it up, and there you see just heading down the near sideline, and he takes it all the way to the house. And that is how the game started for the Sacs Wildcats.
And that has to take a little bit of wind out of your sails if you're Alexandria. It has to pump you up a little bit if you're Sacs, because and that's the way with football, with just something as simple as the shape of a football versus maybe a basketball or a soccer ball. You never know which way that thing's going to bounce. Sometimes it bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. And Mickey, that's one of the things you hear coaches and players alike talking about, how the game of football can teach you about life. I think that's one of the things, because you never know how that ball's going to bounce, and it depends on your reaction to it.
It is, and that is, I mean, when you get right down to it, that's why athletics is so important. It's, I remember when I played, coaches would tell me, athletics and what you go through when you play sports is a great precursor for the types of things you're going to have to deal with in life. And you could go down a long laundry list of examples of that, but that is exactly the case.
Sacs gets the football to begin the third period. And here on the first play from scrimmage, Alexandria is going to be able to get in the offensive backfield and make a stop there. Alexandria's Alex Campbell making the stop of Sacs number 22, Calvin Figueroa. So that play is going to lose a couple of yards. Brings up second down and 12. And in the shotgun now for Sacs. Quarterback tries to flip one out to Coleman, and they cannot connect.
All right, Robert, you know these Alexandria coaches very well. What was the mood in the locker room? What was said? What was the message from Coach Tucker and his staff?
Well, I can't read Coach Tucker's mind, but I think that you got to tell them, kind of what we talked about. We're putting in an entirely new offense. You can't expect things to start clicking all of a sudden. They had a lot of things that bounced Sacs' way, not Alexandria's way in that first half, and then you scored 16 unanswered points there to end the first half. So that's what I tell them. Just keep doing what you're doing, and let this offense kind of get a little experience under your belt and get things clicking, and go out and play 2 more quarters of ball.
Big play there by the Wildcats. It was a 3rd and long, and just a simple screen pass to Darian Coleman. And there you see the big playability of the Sacs offense.
So they got a first down now into Alexandria territory. And they're going to give it to Figueroa. And he picks up yardage down to the 45. The play will pick up about 2.
Figueroa on the carry for Sacs again, tackled by a host of Valley Cubs. Pick up of about
so it'll be second down and 8.
2nd and 8 for the Wildcats.
And as Sacs comes back to the line of scrimmage, quarterback's going to stay in the shotgun. Fakes the give, tries to get it outside, and a good defensive play there by
Number 6, Devin Harris.
Alexandria's Kane Heath to make the stop there of Devin Harris.
And if he doesn't make this stop, Harris might be gone. Harris breaks it out, and then right there, Harris was about to turn the corner, and other than number 30 there, Campbell, there wasn't much defensive support on that side of the field. So big play there by Heath.
And Heath only a sophomore. Another one of these young players. This Alexandria team is as young as any team probably that I've ever seen. Third down play. Nice pass over the middle, complete for the first down.
How about that? 2 third and long conversions back to back.
And Sachs continuing to answer. Picks up a first down now down to the Alexandria 35.
That is a big stat coaches like to look at is getting off the field on third down, especially when you've got a team in a third and 10-plus distance. It's really, in a coach's mind, unacceptable to allow a team to get a first down when you've got them 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, and it's happened twice in a row here for Sachs against Alexandria.
Here's the give. Working that left side on a penalty play. Demetrius Powell. But hang on and see what the penalty. And it is going to be holding against Sachs, so this one will be coming back.
Tackle made by number 16, A.J. Martin.
Penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which will be the 37-yard line. And you'll see him mark it back to the 47. So it'll remain first down. Coach Miller not really happy with that one.
Yeah, that can be a drive killer. Of course, Sachs has the big play potential that they're going to need to make up a lot of yardage, but it is first down again.
Gibb trying to bounce it to the outside. There is Figueroa.
Figueroa on the carry for the Wildcats.
They would have to get it all the way down to the 25-yard line for a first down, and that play only gained a couple. So now they're looking at second and 20.
Second and long.
Sachs, as you can see, still not huddling, but taking their sweet time and snapping the football.
Second down now from the 45. Going to look to throw, and then Harris is going to pull it down, going to run, and he's going to have his first down. Well, they're going to say maybe he stepped out of bounds a little bit short of it.
That's not explosive. Look at it here. He's back to throw. Here come the pocket totally collapses, and boom, he's gone. I mean, he is as quick out of there as Trey Smith was.
Oh, absolutely. That's part of why they went 13-1 a year ago. Trey Smith and all those players that they lost were great players, but Sachs had a pretty deep ball club a year ago, and there's some other young men are stepping up tonight. And on third down and short, they'll give to Figueroa, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. So it'll be fourth and about 2. Maybe closer to 3.
4-down territory for Coach Miller. This drive has been a time consumer here, which is exactly what Coach Miller wanted, and he'd love to get a first down and keep running the clock.
Fourth down, about 2 or 3. Figueroa, the ball carrier, and Alexandria is going to stop him short of the first down.
Figueroa on the carry for the Wildcats.
This is a case of who wanted it more, Robert. Fourth and short. Figueroa, you figure, is going to get it. But look at the surge there by the Valley Cubs, number 11, Austin Wells, and tip your hat there to that Alexandria defense coming up with the big fourth down stop. And here comes the Valley Cub offense.
That drive consumed 4 minutes, 57 seconds here in the third quarter. Take it down to the field to John Holder, who has someone to talk to for us.
All right, guys, we're down here on the sideline. We got a very special guest with us, just arrived to the stadium, and kind of a Sacs-related person here because he's got a couple of sons that are at Sacs. But most importantly, he's running for office, running for State Senate District 12. And Steve Geedy is here with us, and glad to have you with us here on the sidelines tonight at the Spring Jam.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I see that the Sacs Wildcats aren't letting us down tonight, 42-16. That's pretty impressive. I'm hoping to see what some of the other talent comes on this weekend. We have some new coaches coming into the county that hopefully will give Sacs a run for its money, but not quite beat us. You know what I mean?
You've got a couple of guys, your sons, that are students at Sacs High School. One, you told me, is in the Sacs High School band tonight.
He's in the Sacs High School band. I don't know where he's at now. He's probably running around with his friends. We were trying to find him just a minute ago. And the other one's a student council member, junior student council member. They're in 9th and 10th grade. And so they're Sacs kids all the way, grew up in the system. And, you know, like I said, go Wildcats. We're going to win it again this year, I hope. And I hope we win the whole state championship this year.
They certainly look like they're on the way to doing that. Campaign really heading down the home stretch here. You're, what, 2.5 weeks, something like that, away from Election Day?
2.5 weeks. So if any of y'all don't know, June 3rd is the primary. I'm running for the Republican seat in the primary. So, well, you know, we have another election in November, but June 3rd, folks, is when we need to turn out. I always hear folks say, gee, we want to change, but they never want to change anybody who's in office. So if you want to change, I'm just a regular guy with 3 kids and a wife, and I have a full-time job, work 6 days a week, and I care about this stuff a lot. I'm a former Tea Party chairman, and I think that if we're not represented in Montgomery, then we need to change the folks who are there, and we need to get real representation of the people, not just of the folks who write the big paychecks to campaigns.
This your first time run for anything, up for office?
Absolutely. I've run for state executive committee in the Republican Party, but that's kind of an in-party kind of thing. But I've never run for public office before. And I did it because, like I said, I care about it the most. I think that I think we can do better. And hopefully I'll get the opportunity to serve the public here in Calhoun County and the rest of the district.
All right, primary coming up June 3rd. We'll let you get in and watch a little bit of the football game. I know you're a little bit late in getting here, some other speaking engagements and so forth tonight, so we'll let you watch the last 5.5 minutes of the game.
Thank you very much. I was just at an NRA banquet, and so I kind of, and also I had a friend that broke down on the side of the road all the way in South Alabama, and we were making sure that he was all right before I either had to come here or go get in my car and drive down and get him in South Alabama.
Sacs parent and District 12 in the Senate candidate Steve Geedy with us here on the sidelines here at the Spring Jam.
Thank you, John. While we were away there, Alexandria picked up a first down, and then on the prior play, offsetting penalties, false start against Alexandria, pass interference against Sacs, so it'll be 1st and 10. Just replay the down. And Alexandria gives Luke Tucker, hands it off to Jacob Hethcock, and Hethcock out across the 40 to about the 41. Picks up 3.
Well, unless Sacs can score here, I guess Welborn will get the winner for the most points at the 2014 Spring Jam. In case you missed it earlier, they defeated Weber 45-6, and here Sacs sits at 42. They've been sitting at 42 since mid-second quarter. Alexandria's kind of controlled the game since that point.
Second down play. Luke Tucker with a nice little throw out to Jamal Tucker out across the 45, and Jamal up to the 50-yard line should have another Alexandria first down. And this Alexandria offense, after a slow start, is beginning to click a little bit.
And that young man that just made that play for Alexandria, Jamal Tucker kind of really got him going.
He's been a spark. So first down play now from midfield, right on the 50-yard line stripe. Luke Tucker directs a little traffic, brings Jamal Tucker in motion. Jamal is going to take the handoff, and nothing going there. Luke kind of had to motion him to come this way, and that may have given Sacs a heads up of what was coming.
Demetrius Powell read it well but he came up a little gimpy. Thought he was going to limp off the field, but now he's coming back on the field. Number 33 just comes up and just presses the play. There you see coming from behind, and a host of Sachs defenders help out there.
So that play loses 4 back to the Cub 46. Alexandria is going to take a timeout. 42-16, Sachs leads Alexandria. This is the Spring Jam on TV 24.
Sachs High School is the ideal school for today's students. At Sachs High, academics come first. Sachs is blessed with a great staff and faculty who work hard and are extremely knowledgeable about their subject matter. The teachers and staff also truly care about their students, which shows in their countless efforts to prepare the students for life outside of school. Athletics is another perk at Sachs. In the 2013-2014 season, our football and basketball teams advanced to the state semifinals, and in the 2011-2012 season, our softball team won the state championship. We have seen firsthand how athletics can make a difference because our community rallied together to support our teams. Athletics is important to us, and we take pride in our teams. In addition, the performing art programs at Sachs are elite. Casey Cornut, choir director, and Gene Inglis, band director, have created prestigious programs that make us proud to be Wildcats. Both of them are highly skilled and have earned many honors and awards. This reflects the quality of music produced from their programs. Sachs is truly the place to be.
Robert Smith and Mickey Shadrick's back here at JSU Stadium. 2nd and 14 for Alexandria. The Cubs are going to bring a man in motion. Luke Tucker looks like he wants to throw, but he's got a little lane to run in. So Luke pulls it down and moves down inside the 45 and down to about the 41-yard line. Almost picked up a first down.
And took a shot there at the end. He may have to come out. Tucker rolling out and had to make a quick decision on whether to try to stay with the option of throwing the football. We'll see it here. Dodge one defender there. He's got a window there to throw. Decides to run. Made a great decision, but look at the shot he takes here at the end. Bam, right on that right shoulder. And I think that's what got Luke. You see it again. The helmet comes in right on that right shoulder pad, and that hurt.
So the ball's placed down at the 41-yard line. There you see Luke sitting on the Cub bench.
And his night may be done. You see Coach Tucker speaking with the referee Alan Gilbert there. Not sure what the discussion is about. And Powell coming in there, number 33. Tucker did a good job of feeling that pressure and sliding to his right, and again just gets sandwiched there between two Sachs defenders. The defender on the right delivering the painful blow, number 58 Austin Hobbs, also there, number 50 Monty Young. And there you see Randy Beeson, the trainer for Dr. Clinton Ray, checking out Luke Tucker's shoulder. That is why Dr. Ray and his staff are here to handle situations just like this.
And what a great job they do throughout Calhoun County. Of course, Dr. Ray, second generation physician here in Calhoun County, and his dad, Dr. Gary Ray, was both my pediatrician and, of course, Clinton Ray's. And we've joked a little bit, Dr. Ray and I have, that maybe we were guinea pigs that his dad learned on us. Third down play. Jacob Hethcock in at quarterback for Alexandria. And the give to number 32 for the Valley Cubs. Stopped short of the first down there is Keenan Woodruff.
Number 32, Keenan
but not by much.
For the Valley Cubs.
There you see Dr. Ray. His dad's still practicing in Anniston.
For the Valley Cubs.
Been here a long time.
And if I'm not mistaken, played football for the Bear at the University of Alabama. Suffered an injury, I think only played 1 year, but nonetheless, a very accomplished athlete in his own right.
And here is Heathcock keeping it and picks up the first down inside the 40 and down to the 39-yard line.
Well, Luke Tucker was going to put himself in the game, and the coaches said, nope, hold up there, son.
So from the 39, Alexandria has a new set of downs. Clock rolling down toward 2 minutes to play here in the third. And to give to Woodruff again. Woodruff down inside the 40 down to the 38. Picks up about a yard.
We're being told that the real problem with Luke Tucker, who appears to be coming back in the game, well, no, yes, he is coming back in the game, is possibly took some type of direct hit to his eye. So the shoulder may have not been what was troubling him, and looking at him on the sideline, he did appear to be blinking his eye there like something had broken through on the face mask there. So
second down play on Tucker returns to the ball game, and he's going to be forced to throw the football, and a penalty flag will come to the ground. It's going to be intentional grounding against Alexandria, I believe.
Well, he had no chance on this play. As you see, the pressure comes from everywhere, from the right, from the left, up the middle, and Luke just had a guy over in that direction and just got rid of it there. Coach Tucker pointing over there, possibly arguing that there was a receiver in the area, but the official right on top of the play. We'll see it again.
Well, you're going to see Tucker roll out to his right. There's a couple of men out in front of him, but I think you just kind of had he angled the ball a little bit more downfield instead of toward the sidelines, he might have gotten away with that one, but he didn't. Third and a ton for Alexandria. Luke's going to air it out down the sidelines and throws this one too far. And so it will be fourth down. And after Alexandria had gotten things moving a little bit toward the end of the first half, going to see this drive stall after they moved it down as far as the Sachs 39-yard line, but they have gone backwards from there.
Alexandria elects to punt.
Looks as though Sachs will be bringing out their regular starters again here with 1:07 left in the third for possibly one final drive.
So the Wildcats now with the ball from their own 25. Harris with the give, and good defensive effort there by Alexandria. A couple of men in the backfield, and now we're going to have a late penalty flag.
That's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Figueroa, I think, because Figueroa went to a knee and an Alexandria defender kind of made contact with him. I think it was Austin Kilgore. Don't think it was intentional, but Figueroa took it that way, and they both got up, and there was a little jawing going on, and there you see Coach Miller talking to his young man, and good teaching moment here. Even when something like that happens, you got to keep your cool, because you can't give up a penalty against your team. If this were a close game, that's a huge call here.
Second and long. Here's a give. Straight up the middle, Coleman, the ball carrier. And Coleman will be stopped at about the 12-yard line.
Starting to get a little sloppy here toward the end of the third quarter.
a face mask against the Valley Cubs.
Another penalty flag. This one's going to be a face mask against the Valley Cubs, and so that's going to give that yardage back to Sachs. This will only be a 5-yarder. See if we can see it here.
Let's go, Valley!
Tough to tell if it was against the runner.
Second down play. Here's a give to Oliphant. Oliphant starts off tackle and then bounces it out to the outside, but not much there, up to about the 18.
And that may be the final play of the third quarter, Robert. We'll see if Sachs elects to snap it. They don't have to.
There's the whistle with 12 seconds.
Bring up 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
Saw the signal from the assistant coach there on the Sachs sideline saying, nah, just let it run down.
So we played 3. Sachs leading Alexandria 42-16. This game brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission, RMC, and Sonny King Honda. The Spring Jam on TV 24. Back in a moment.
Welcome to the Creekbank, home of the Ohatchee Indians. Since 1914, Ohatchee High School has provided thousands of Calhoun County youth with a high-quality education with the ultimate goal of preparing them to face the challenges of the 21st century. Ohatchee High School is a place where teaching and learning is a priority, but also a place where every student can find and explore a special interest, like FFA, cheerleading, key club, band, academic clubs, sports, and more. Ohatchee teachers use modern technology, engaging lessons, and even individualized plans to meet the needs of every student. OHS is also an integral part of the Ohatchee community with athletic events, homecoming parades, and pep rallies that show school spirit and involve the whole community. Tradition, pride, and excellence. 3 words that describe Ohatchee High School. From the hardwood floors of the original building to the multi-million-dollar middle school building set for construction this summer, Ohatchee High School is a place where all of Ohatchee can call home.
Back here at JSU Stadium and down to the sidelines to Gerhard Mathangani.
Thank you very much, guys. We were talking about Luke Tucker's injury. Apparently, he got poked right in the eye. I spoke with him just a minute ago. He said the defender for Sachs incidentally hit him right in the eye, but he's actually had a broken nose for the last 3 weeks. So that eye injury obviously added to that. He said his vision's kind of blurry right now, but he seems to be talking fine and speaking well. So they'll reevaluate that in the morning and just wish the best for that young man. Guys.
Sporting the beard, too.
Yeah. Got the mountain man look going. From the 18-yard line. You know, Mickey, when we were in school, I don't think the guys could grow enough hair to have a beard.
No. And I don't think my coach would have let me have it anyway.
Times they are changing.
He'd have pulled it out, plucked it out.
Yeah.
Hair by hair.
From the 18. Sachs with the ball. And here's a give up to maybe a yard to about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Robert, also should point out that this is typically when we go to the junior varsity players, so we'll see how both coaches play it here. I know that was the case in the earlier game today. Last night was a different format. You had 3 teams competing, playing halves against each other. Tonight's games are full games, and we would expect to see some new faces, some new numbers playing the final 12 minutes. So basically the game ended when the third quarter ended. So we'll still keep score for the next 12 minutes, but we'll have a lot of new younger players playing now.
So after what amounts to a punt, Alexandria takes it right from the 50-yard line. And the first down play going to be a toss over to number 48, Quentin Bowie.
At number 48, Quentin Bowie on the carry for the Valley Cubs. He's tackled by
and Josh Tucker in at quarterback for Alexandria.
For the Valley Cubs.
And Josh, the younger brother of Luke, wears number 19. He'll be under center, as the Cubs have gone all shotgun so far. And nice looking play down the sidelines to the 10, to the 5, maybe in for a touchdown, and I believe so, by Alexandria's number 28. I'll let you say that name, Mickey.
Abdul Khalila.
There you go. You did a great job.
I've been studying that one for the last 24 hours. There we see here the pitch to Khalila, and we sincerely hope we are pronouncing that correctly, but we did spot that name when we saw the roster, so wanted to be prepared for it. And I tell you, I'm glad we were, because this young man looks like a good running back, good young running back.
Nice looking play for the touchdown. Alexandria will line up to go for 2. And the Cubs back in that familiar wing tee for this 2-point conversion. And they will not get it, but Reggie Pope gives it a valiant effort. So the score remains 42-22. And so after sacks, just all over Alexandria, 42-0. Took a 42-0 lead at the 8:24 mark of the second quarter. Alexandria has now scored 22 unanswered. A few pride points for these Valley Cubs.
And you know, here we are toward the end of the school year. Next week is graduation for team schools across the area, and you know, both all these kids will, you know, that play different sports, get a little football here at the end of the school year, then get to work on the off season. And Robert, before we know it, it'll be football season again.
You're right, and I can't wait. One football season ends and I start counting down the days to the next one.
And it actually, the high school football season, it will be starting a week early this year. There will be 11 available weeks for teams to play, and there are some area teams within our coverage area that will be opening their season on August the 22nd, which means we will have to start the Pigskin Roundup a week earlier this year.
And the teams have 11 weeks in which to play 10 games. You can elect, some will elect to play basically a jamboree game in that first week and then play 10 consecutive weeks, or you can work in an off week in there if that's what you choose to do. But they have 11 weeks in which to play 10 games. Here's a handoff for sacks to Oliphant. He'll be stopped at the 29-yard line.
One of those games that'll be really interesting to see that first week will be Oxford and Southside. Southside is now 6A. Those two teams haven't played a lot over the years, but when Oxford and Southside have played, it's been very meaningful games, and that'll be a great opening game for both those teams in 2014.
And those are the kind of games I like to see, Mickey. You know, Oxford has been in a situation where they've been in a region where really outside of Gadsden City, they've played a lot of teams that are not from this area, and those area games playing folks from around the coverage area. Those are the kinds of games I like to see.
And again, I think it's one of the positive. We get the penalty again, offsides against the Sachs Wildcats, but I think it's one of the benefits of the new adding the 7th classification. Not only does it level the playing field, but it enables teams to step down and play some teams they haven't played before. You know, Southside has always been a lower classification. Now they're in the same classification. And you've got a lot of those examples throughout the state.
Third down play for the Wildcats. At quarterback, Quay McCord gives it over to Oliphant. And he'll be short of the first down. He'll be run out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. A lot of fresh jerseys for both teams,
Number 44, Brandon Harris,
as has been the custom throughout at least these full games. This is the third year that we've had this spring jamboree. It's been the first of those years that we've had a round robin such as was last night. And there is timeout on the field. Sacs leading 42-22 over Alexandria. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back.
Pleasant Valley High School is committed to helping students find their own unique path to success. Our students enjoy a high-quality academic environment utilizing the latest in educational technology, including the State of Alabama's Access Program, which provides our students with opportunities outside of our small school atmosphere. At Pleasant Valley, our athletes excel in 11 varsity sports programs and hold a number of state championships. Pleasant Valley High School, committed to academic and personal success of your child.
When it comes to the financing of your home, experience counts. At Jackson Mortgage Company, put that experience to work for you. There's a reason homeowners across East Alabama have chosen Jackson Mortgage Company since 1994. Jackson Mortgage Company is a full-service mortgage company offering VA, FHA, and conventional financing with competitive rates. Let Jackson Mortgage Company put their experience to work for you. And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
Robert Smith and Mickey Shadrick's back here at JSU Stadium. Alexandria has a first down from their own 36-yard line. Tucker with a pitch. Gets it outside. And up for a first down goes Reggie Pope. Pope able to pick up 10 yards up to the 49-yard line. So Alexandria able to pick up the first down.
That run good for a Valley Cub first down.
Now the Cubs just shy of the midfield stripe. And they'll work out of the wing tee again. Quentin Bowie moves into Sacs territory and down to the 48, picks up about 3.
That'll bring up 2nd and 7 for Valley Cubs.
Cubs now going to work out of an offset eye. Toss. And they'll pick up down close to a first down inside the 45 down to 42, maybe the 41-yard line. They had to make the 41 to pick up the first down. Let's see where they place the football.
All right, Robert, let's, while we're winding down here and some of the younger players are getting a chance to play here, and let's bring in our Pigskin Roundup host, high school football expert John Holder. He's down on the field, and let's just kind of chat here. John, we're nearing the end of the 2014 Spring Jam. I know I have found some things very interesting in watching the games last night and tonight. Very curious to know what your impressions are of what you've seen the last 2 nights.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that jumps out to me is Class 4A football around this state better get ready, because the Sacs Wildcats, they may be as good or better than they were last year. And, you know, they're moving up to 4A, so they're getting away from Madison Academy. And, you know, you look at it right now, I think probably in that 4A Region 6 at this point in time, I think you got to say they're the favorite already in that region, moving up from 3A to 4A. And you start looking at 4A in North Alabama, and, you know, I think Sacs has got a good a shot as anybody at maybe getting to Auburn from what I've seen tonight.
I think you're right, John, and Sacs is just reloading. They're going to have another good football team in 2014. And there are some situations in which moving up really doesn't hurt the other team, and I think this may be one of them. And Alexandria moving up to 5A, a lot of people have kind of seen this coming for a while now as that community grows. But I'm not sure that Alexandria's region is going to be any tougher in 5A than it was in 4A. They played in one of the toughest regions in the state in Class 4A. So going to 7 classifications is going to be very interesting to see here in 2014.
Yeah, Robert, I agree with you 100%. I think Alexandria is going to benefit by moving up to 5A because you look at the region they're in, I think the teams from our area are going to be the class of that region. I'm trying to not get run over down here. Caveman just stepped out of the way and did a good job. But, I think that, Lincoln, obviously, if you look on paper, Lincoln probably may be the favorite in that region. But I think Alexandria is going to do very well in that region. I think Anniston will do very well in that region. I think you start looking over to the west at teams that are in that region like Hayden and Mortimer, Jordan, and Springville. I think that, our area teams like Alexandria, Lincoln, and Anniston will match up very well in that region. So I don't think that Alexandria is going to be hurt at all moving up to Class 5A.
Going to make for a very interesting season here. Going to be a lot of things that will be different than what we've been seeing.
John, I want to ask you about last night. I think one of the things that stands out to me was how good the Ohatchee Indians look with their new coach, Scott Martin. When you bring a new coach in, bring in a whole new system, that brings with it its own set of challenges. But I just thought that they looked they looked in midseason form in terms of all of the different schemes they ran, the different formations, how they executed. They had very few penalties of any significance. What were your thoughts of the debut of Scott Martin in Ohatchee?
I talked with Coach Martin, obviously on camera, but I talked with him further off camera after the game last night. And, he told us back during the county basketball tournament when we first interviewed him, he'd just been hired the day before as head coach, that he's a big buddy with Gus Malzahn down at Auburn. So he runs a lot of that power spread type offense that Coach Malzahn runs. And you saw a little bit of that, especially early in the game yesterday. And I asked him, actually after the game, I said, you seem to run a lot of formations. And he said, and this will be very familiar to Auburn fans, he said, we actually had 2 sets that we ran out of. But he said, we run a lot of different things out of those 2 sets. But he said, basically tonight, he said, it looked like we ran a lot of different sets. But he said, we ran two basic formations. That was it.
Well, and let me get your thoughts on what we saw earlier today. How about Jeff Smith and the Wellborn Panthers?
Yeah, I think Wellborn going to be right in the thick of it in that 3A Region 6. They're another team that, moved up from 2A to 3A, and I really don't think they're going to miss a beat. He's got virtually the entire team back that was very successful the last couple of years in Class 2A, and now he's got virtually that entire team back. They move into that region. Piedmont is obviously, I think, going to be the team that would be labeled maybe as the favorite going in. Glencoe, as Steve Smith mentioned to us in our interview between games, Glencoe has got everyone back. Lee Osment has been really high on this upcoming senior class. He says this is the class, maybe the best group of players that he's had since he's been at Glencoe, and they were very good last year. Glencoe almost beat this Sacs team. They almost beat Colbert County in the second round of the playoffs. They're a team that could have very easily been very deep in the 3A playoffs last year. So I think Wellborn's right in there. I think, Wellborn, Piedmont, Glencoe, those 3 teams probably the class of that 3A Region 6.
Well, John, I've got to ask you, with the 7 classifications now, are we going to see a return of Stump John on Friday nights?
Say that again?
I said with the 7 class. See, I just stumped you. With the return of 7 classifications, or with the addition of that 7th class, are we going to see a return of Stump John on Friday nights on Pigskin Roundup?
Oh, we can do that at any time. That's not going to be a problem. It's just, changing classifications, that's not going to be a problem. We'll know them all by the time football season gets here and have that all studied. So if you want to bring it back, Mickey, you're the boss. So if you want to bring back Stump John, we can do it.
Hey, I know there's no suspense when we do it, but I know the viewers enjoy it. But and John, we see Alexandria score here. Good run by number 28, who we've mentioned already, Abdul Khalila. Good-looking young running back for the Valley Cubs as we see the play again. But John, we appreciate you talking with us here. I know viewers enjoy getting your thoughts on the high school football that we've seen the last 2 nights. Nobody understands it, analyzes it any better than you do. So, and I know you're looking forward to another season of Pigskin Roundup. So before we let you go, as Alexandria converts the 2-point conversion here, Give us your thoughts on the upcoming season. I know you can't wait till we crank it up on August 22nd with that first Pigskin Show.
Yeah, and the thing about it is you and I have already been talking about tonight, with the new change this year where you have 11 weeks to play the 10 games, we actually are expanding high school football by a week. So there's 11 weeks in essence of the regular season. And hey, that's great with me. I love that. So we've got, an extra week of Pigskin Roundup, an extra week of the season. Really, instead of 15 weeks, if you go all the way from the beginning to the Super 6, we now have 16 weeks, and we're getting an extra day of the Super 6 because they're going to play the 7A championship on Wednesday afternoon at Jordan-Hare Stadium. So the more high school football, the better for me. So I think this may be the best season yet.
Well, and also we've got the Pigskin Roundup magazine. I know you and Gerhard talked about that a little bit earlier, but hit the highlights of that before we let you go.
Yeah, we'll have write-ups on 37 teams. Got some great feature stories in there. I won't reveal the cover. We try to keep that as a surprise, but I will tell folks that we are compiling all the information and having the photo shoot for that this coming Tuesday, and I think it's going to be a kind of a unique cover, and we're looking forward to that. And we have a lot of great information in there. Everything you need, absolutely free, full color to get you set for the high school football season. So get ready for that in August, but we're working on that right now. I'm already talking to coaches, and we're getting information, and we'll be writing that and putting that together all summer long and have that ready for you around the middle of August.
All right, John, get me excited for Friday nights. Appreciate it, John, and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, John. Quay McCord at quarterback now for Sachs as we're down inside 320, 319. And Alexandria has made this thing look respectable after Sachs out to a 42-0 lead in the second quarter. The Cubs have come back to score 30 unanswered. Third down and long now coming up for the Wildcats. And they're taking their time, working out of the shotgun. Handoff, and Alexandria, well, one man lets him go. The second one pulls down Oliphant at about the 29-yard line, maybe the 30. But it will bring up 4th and 10 for Sachs from the 30.
That'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Wildcats.
And Sachs letting the clock run.
Coach Miller standing by the official, going to call a timeout before he was penalized for delay of game. So we will keep it right here during the timeout and see what Sachs chooses to do here on 4th and 10. Score has gotten a lot closer.
It has. There's still a two possession ball game. I was just about to say not that it really matters really who wins this game, but you know what? It does, because it's Alexandria and Sachs, and that matters, I guarantee you. This spring jamboree, as we talked, Mickey, we're now in the third year, and it's been really good for Calhoun County, for all these schools. Not only gives them something to work for, but getting to play in this stadium, in this venue.
And I know that it's tough on the coaches. We know these coaches. We talk to them all the time. And I know one of the biggest problems they have with this, they love doing it, it's just they have so little preparation time to get ready to actually play a real game. And that is the biggest challenge they have to overcome. And they're great sports about it. There's a part of them that would probably rather not even play a spring game just because they don't have much time to practice. But, to be able to come out and execute and line up and run plays, it just hats off to these coaches and all these teams because they're doing it under less than ideal circumstances, because You know, some of these teams only have, you know, 5 practices or so, and they don't hit much before they come out here and play the game. So that is something that the average fan may not realize, is it's a very little preparation time. And they haven't been playing football for a while, too, when they start these few practices.
Reggie Pope picks up 6 there for Alexandria. And then here's a give to the number 43, Kobe Woodruff.
But there's nothing like evaluating young men under the lights against another opponent. Yeah. It's one thing to watch your kids put the practice jersey on and go out and hit each other, but it's just invaluable information when you can line up, put on that school uniform, and go out, especially in a venue such as this, and play somebody else in a different jersey. So in that sense, score doesn't matter.
Yeah. Inside a minute to play. Quentin Bowie down to the 46-yard line, and the clock will continue to run. Actually, it'll stop, or it should, as they move the chains. Stops with 38 seconds remaining. Valley Cubs back to the line of scrimmage. Josh Tucker's going to toss it out. Nice little move there by Kalila, and he's going to take it down the far sidelines for an Alexandria touchdown. Well, late penalty flag, but he was already into the end zone.
I know he is running the ball against less than the Sac starting defense, but when they evaluate this young man, he may be in line for some playing time next fall.
There are certainly some pluses, and both teams have found that there are some people that they're going to really be able to call on during the season to contribute.
Penalty against Alexandria, personal foul. Question was, well, they're going to, it's not, the touchdown will not count. We'll get another look at the run here. And don't think we're going to see, the flag was thrown around the 20-yard line, so let's see if we see anything. No. And it's not after the play, or the score would count, right?
You should. And I did not personally see the flag thrown until he was already into the end zone, but that doesn't matter. So with 14 seconds left, Alexandria is back at the 37-yard line. Tucker going to try to loop it out and right into the hands of his intended receiver, and dropped. So that will leave 9 seconds on the clock.
Band still playing. A lot of folks still here. Taking in all of the action.
On what has become a really chilly evening, Mickey.
Yes, it has. I know I put my jacket on about a quarter and a half ago.
Seems like March instead of May. Last play of the ball game. Tucker's going to throw downfield, and it will almost be intercepted, and then one of the Alexandria players almost took it away from the Sacs player, couldn't handle it himself, and that will be your ball game. So Sacs with a nice 42-30 win over Alexandria, scored the first 42 points of the ball game, and then Alexandria scores 30 unanswered. As you see Tucker rolling to his right. And both an orange jersey and a white jersey had an opportunity to come up with football. Nobody did, and the clock runs out. So a good win for Sachs over Alexandria. Both teams are going to be able to get some positives to come out of this football game, and this spring jam for 2014 has been another rousing success, Mickey.
Yes, it has. It's been a great weather for the event, which is always important, and some great football we've seen.
Down to the field, Gerhard has Coach Jonathan Miller.
Thank you, guys. All right, Coach, dominated that first half with 42 unanswered points to begin the game. Just talk about the way this game played overall and the way the spring went.
Well, I thought the spring overall went well. You know, we got off to a good start tonight.
Okay.
I thought the kids came out and played with some intensity. You know, we got up a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to keep that intensity for 4 quarters when you get a big lead and you relax. And, you know, we made a lot of bad plays there in the second quarter, and, but, you know, it was good to come out and get out to a big lead, and I thought our kids played well early.
Talk about the talking points that everybody had coming into this season was Trey Smith gone, Vincent Hilliard gone, Rock Green gone. And a lot of people said, well, we wonder what Sachs will be. Talk about what you saw out of those guys today and some of the guys that are expected to fill in those big holes.
Well, you know, we did have a good senior class last year. Those kids had a great season, and we had some underclassmen that had, good seasons too. And, Devin Harris is a guy that's going to make plays for us. Darian Coleman is a guy that's going to make plays. Calvin Figueroa ran the ball really hard tonight. Demetrius Powell's going to be a good skill player for us. So, we got some weapons. We just got to keep them healthy and use them the right way.
And then finally, as you head into this next few months, as you go into summer workouts, talk about this foundation you want to build on.
Well, we're off to a good start. We had a good spring in the weight room. Obviously played pretty well tonight. So you just got to keep getting better. Right now, over the summer, you're either going to get better or you're going to get worse. So we're hoping we can get better.
And talk about this guy next to you. He's our player of the game.
Well, Demetrius Powell had a good game. He's a talented kid, and had a really good game tonight on defense and also running the football.
Thank you, Coach. I'll squeeze in here and talk to Demetrius. First off, Demetrius, talk about just the way this game ran overall and the way you were able to get going at the very beginning with that fumble recovery, took it down to the end zone.
I'm just blessed to had the ability to run the ball like that. I want to thank my offensive line for blocking, and Devin and Booby for helping me, helping me work out in the weight room.
Talk about the way the spring went. Obviously, everybody had the questions about replacing a lot of the guys that left last year. Talk about some of the things that you wanted to do heading into the spring and the foundation that it builds for the summer.
After that loss to Madison Academy last year, we had it in our mind that we just going to get better, even though we're losing a lot of good players, that we was just going to get better than the weight room.
You look good today. Thank you very much. Our player of the game for today. You see some of the highlights right there as Sachs wins it today by a huge margin. Demetrius Powell, your player of the game. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, Robert, coming into this game, didn't really know who Demetrius Powell was. We know now.
Absolutely.
And, he will be one of those recognizable names that we'll be paying attention to this fall when the Sachs Wildcats get their season started. Robert, great job. Thanks for your work tonight.
Always, Mickey.
And we appreciate all of our crew hard work for the last 2 days. And we'll see you again here tomorrow with more football, too. We'll be on the air at 9 o'clock with a pregame show with more high school football from JSU Stadium. That'll wrap it up for tonight in the 2014 Calhoun County Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam. So long from Jacksonville.